And hello everyone, we are back once more. Games XP, we've got another match for you. We've got White Lotus coming fresh off their 2-0 win over Reign of Kings. And we've got No F's Given looking to clinch a win in this set. And I believe this is the last game we have for tonight. So we got the 3 of 3 match coming through. And we'll be getting into picks and bans shortly, I believe. But for those of you joining, we are here and bringing you the cast tonight. I'm Skyson.
I'm Jimmy.
And we got a pro draft here for this this series. So I believe we'll be switching over to that when they decide to get that started. But I'm looking forward to a good match from NFG. NFG has been switching up their roster a little bit. Arrow has worked on rebuilding the team. And he's grabbed a new mid laner in ASAP ZZ and Uritas. We saw in last week's set, they brought Uritas out. Very, very a different type of jungler than they had, like Zephyr before. Very proactive, very forward-facing and aggressive. So the switch-ups that have come for the NFG roster have been looking good for them. They've been picking up a lot of wins. I believe they're either 3-0 in these 2 weeks or 2-1. One of the two. I'm not 100% certain. But either way, they're definitely looking to come back much stronger than they were near the end of the first round. But, of course, you have White Lotus, who now sitting at a hot 11-0 on their record. Very, very strong team. But, of course, we've seen this team now in their set with Reign of Kings. We've seen this team, they have cracks. There's definitely cracks in the armor of this seemingly invincible team. They've definitely shown that they are not invincible laners by any means, and teams that have capitalized on their early game, really looking to pull ahead, are able to. So if we're able to see if NFG is able to pull together like these other teams that have really put the pressure on them early, then we'll see if NFG is able to, convert that and play a little bit better into the mid end versus some of these other teams that have fallen to White Lotus.
I really want to see a game actually go to 3 matches. I don't think I've seen one go beyond just 2-0s really recently anyway. So I think it would be kind of nice to see NFG really take it to White Lotus and prove that you can get a match against a top tier team.
Mm-hmm. And I did notice that we did go over to the pro draft, so we do have those bands picks already coming through. The Sejuani Katarina and the Braum coming through on the side of NFG, and Fizz Varus Urgot going to come through for White Lotus, going to take the Urgot away from Harbinger. He had a very strong showing on Urgot for a lot of his play, so he's going to take that away. And of course, RW Arrow very notoriously was named the Piercing Arrow before. That was his previous name. Very proficient Varus player, so we're going to take that away from him. But they're going to take the... There's an Alistair pick coming through as first for NFG, and we're going to see Poppy and Lucian come through for White Lotus. Gonna most likely a Poppy jungle again, and Ethereal really enjoying his Lucian pick. We're going to see the Tristana answer come through for Arrow over here.
Go ahead.
I like it, but I want to see them work a little bit more with it.
Ooh, sweet Irelia. I like that. Just because I like Irelia.
Oh, so that's fair. It's interesting if we're going to see Aurelia go to the mid or the top lane. Of course, she's kind of had a lot of proficient in both lanes. We see her more commonly in top lane. And of course, now with Urgot banned away from Harbinger, who I believe has only played Urgot so far, it'll be interesting to see if he decides to go with Aurelia, his pick.
It's interesting to see both Irelia and Akali, because both of those you could really potentially flex, but they lock in the Zac, so whatever.
They're going to go with the Zac there. I figured they were going to look for Akali, but they're going to save the counter pick for Fuji and see if they're going to ban out a couple more mid laners. So they're going to go with the Zac for Kairos here. We just saw him play Nunu, and I don't remember the second jungler that he played, but it was definitely not Zac. So seeing him on Zac would be interesting. Able to look for some of those early ganks. You'll see the Aatrox come through, take it away.
I feel like the Aatrox is kind of a wasted ban. He's nowhere near as strong as what he used to be, so I don't really feel like it's something that they should worry about.
I would say Aatrox is something you want to draft in a comp that's looking to really create some early game pressure. And if you have the Tristana and Aurelia who are looking to, you know, sort of carry their way into the later pieces of the game, I don't think Aatrox is really the pick you were looking for to really facilitate that. So I think that may not have been the ideal ban. But and of course, NFG is going to lose 2 bans here as they're going to pick up ASAP ZZ, and he's not yet, I believe, confirmed for their sub roster for this week, so he's counted as a substitute player. So they're going to lose those 2 bans. And we're going to see the Graves come out on the side of White Lotus, another name to the jungle.
I'm really interested to see what these last 4 picks are going to be.
So you can work
with
a lot
the mid and the jungle.
You can work a lot with an Alistar pick. Like Alistar will give your team the entryway to do a lot. Really, just I mean, he's engaged, he's tank, he can peel. Alistar is a really good jack of all kind of support. So.
Yeah, I think what NFG needs to do is just send Irelia into the mid, pick up Ziggs top, and just push towers.
I feel it. They definitely could look for it. I mean, they have the power in the Tristana. Tristana facilitates a pushing comp very well. So seeing something like that would not be. And I've not seen ASAP ZZ. Of course, he's a new addition to the NFG roster, so I'm not sure what his champion pool looks like. If he's more of a control mage or if he's into those picks like that, but we will see. But they are going to take the Akali on the side, and of course, a lot of people talked about when talking about first rotation of bans for against White Lotus, and a lot of people talked about having to ban the Katarina and the Akali, taking them both away from Fuji. And NFG not too worried about that. They're going to take away the Braum to facilitate that from the support role, and they're going to let Fuji have that Akali and see if he's going to, you know, make another rampage. But they're going to take the Swain Trundle there on the side of NFG.
I really like NFG's lineup thus far. They have a fairly tanky team. It's more like protect Tristana, and both Irelia and Swain can have some flexibility whether they want to go top or mid. So that's kind of nice.
So it's nice to have the ability to, when you're looking at a comp like that, that's sort of the beefy guys front line and protect the Tristana. It's nice that on top of that, while they're none of them on the side of NFG are really just pure tanks. Like Swain, Aurelia, and Trundle all output a very respectable amount of damage on their own right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That a Camille support. My heart just grew like 3 sizes.
Could be Poppy support, Camille in top lane.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's actually never mind. Way more boring. Oh well.
But what do I know? I'm a bronze player, so you know,
I was saying,
listen to me.
Dude, I love Camille support, and when it was in meta for a while, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So if this is Camille support, I would be all for it. But the probably more logical choice is Poppy support. Picking that into the Alistar is very nice. You can stop the engage of the headbutt from Alistar being able to get to the prime target. So that's seems like more of a counter pick on that side.
Think carefully, my friend.
But it's interesting. Yeah, like I said, you have the very beefy front line of NFG that also is pertinent damage threats. So it's not like regular tanks where you can just say, oh, we can ignore them and get to the carry, and we're not going to die to them as long as we can get the other initial CC. These are Aurelia stuns, Trundle pillars, and Swain lockups. You can't ignore those. You'll die to those if you try to ignore them. But getting the Tristana is a lot trickier when you have to get through, all of these different damage threats coming out of the side of NFG. Well, White Lotus has sort of done the same thing. I mean, they have the Zac, who's just mainly tank engaged and can put a lot of disruption down with a lot of stuns. But then you have multiple damage threats. You have the Lucian entering fights and trying to get himself in the center of things. Akali looking on the outskirts, looking to assassinate a target off. And then Camille, very forward-facing damage and a lot of bursts coming down in team fights to lock somebody up in a cage. So the idea that both teams have put together here is very similar. They're both looking for kind of they're looking for the same idea here. They're looking to really just get into a fight with their tank engage and then just throw damage around and take the carries. But Tristana is looking to hang out more in the back line, and Lucian is really looking to get up and run and gun along with people.
Yeah, I mean, both fairly strong compositions.
What I want to see, and for those of you just joining in the chat, make sure you get your bets in. I believe this is Bet NFG or Bet WL. And I like this one. This isn't one that I would say has been decided for either end on the draft. Definitely tell that NFG has put a lot into drafting their comps, even though they've picked up their newer players, but they're definitely working them into the tried and true NFG comps that have worked out. Arrow looking to get to that hyper scaling Tristana, but we will see how it goes. I really want to see the Camille support. I know it's not going to happen, but at the same time, the interesting thing will be seeing Freshburger playing Camille. That was the main reason I didn't think it would be a Camille, because I didn't peg him for a Camille player. He's usually goes for those tanks, goes for those much beefier type of bruiser top laners. So if it is him on Camille, that'll also be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with both these teams is some of the picks that they had are actually really flexible, and we don't know 100% who's going to go, you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see who's going where with what, and then kind of work from there.
I was going to say the Swain, ooh. I would say if they do end up just picking straight to their role, so we are going to see Harbinger on the Swain, and we're going to see ASAP's Easy on the Aurelia mid. And that is going to be Freshburger's Camille. Ooh, I'm looking forward to this. I definitely talked a lot about Freshburger's ability to, stay even in lane, always get himself ahead in CS, and never really an outstandingly dominant player outside of the games we saw him on Darius. And he was drawing a lot of Darius bans because that was the time we saw him really stand out and, start outright killing the enemy laner and just putting Aurelias in their graves at 06 and not able to let him play the game. But so seeing him go back to one of those damaging top laners is going to be interesting to see if he, puts Harbinger on the backline now, taking him away from his, Urgot and Aatrox pick. It'll be really interesting to see if he brings that early Camille aggression. Because Swain is not a champion that, goes down very easy. Swain has has a good amount of innate sustain, as well as the ability to control things from a good range. So it's not really a free fight for Camille. Even if she finds the hookshot stun, she has to deal with the immediate rotation of Swain spells that can do a lot of damage to her in return. But at the same time, these are two very potent junglers who, between Zax's E-engage as well as Trundle Pillar and the slowdown from his auto attacks, have the ability to put down a lot of power in early ganks. So I think, again, we're going to see a lot of early pressure from the jungle. I don't expect a lot of it to be mid, because I expect mid to be very back and forth aggressive. Aurelia and Akali, very skirmish fight heavy laners. So we may even see a first blood come out in lane.
I almost just want to give the edge to Swain, just because of the fact he has a little bit more range than Camille and can kind of dish it out a little bit better than what she could, especially in the early game because of like damage ratios and whatnot. But I want to say the top is actually going to be kind of the lane to watch aside from bot lane, just because of how hyper aggressive these junglers are going to be.
True. I see. Definitely looking for that. And I mean, at the same time, it'll be a lot easier for NFG to facilitate a bot lane gank, as again, Alistair, just the springboard for being able to get a lot done. I mean, if you really want to get it done, you can get the flash, pulverize off, and start a fight off that way and lead it into a Trundle Pillar and really just create a lot of problems for this White Lotus team. So we can see, and Eurotas himself has been a jungler who's been known to really get his moves made around the map and really try to get some early pressure put down in a lot of lanes. So if we see it in this bot lane, because we've watched a set now just from White Lotus as they put a lot of power into their bot lane, and Ethereal really putting out a lot of damage both games, he's really been the crux of a lot of White Lotus wins. So if we're looking at a game where Arrow is looking to outscale on Tristana and the team as a whole is looking to shut down Ethereal, then Eurotas and JS or Penguin are both going to be very important tools to getting him, out of the game and really just shutting him down. Because that is going to be, I think, a primary goal right here for NFG, to really try to get Ethereal on the solution pick and abuse him, get him beat down, and say, you don't get to play the game.
So going into game one, what are we looking for like predictions? What do you think is going to happen?
I would say there's so much. I feel like there's so much that could happen, but at the same time, I'm confident that I don't know. The interesting thing about the Poppy support pick is I don't feel like it gives White Lotus a lot of leeway to be aggressive in lane. I think the Poppy is more of a counter to the Alistair rather than an ability to start a great crazy fight. But I think that watching this mid lane will be very important. Both of these Flash Ignite mid laners, we're probably going to see. I'm willing to say we're most likely going to see a First Blood, probably by level 3, from somebody in the mid lane. With or without a jungle gank, I don't know. But I will say that this mid laner is a very... Well, I know Fuji is a very aggressive mid lane player. I haven't seen Ace has easy, of course. But the Aurelia pick tends to say, I am willing to bring this fight to you. You are a squishy mid laner, and I have swords hanging around me, and they all want to stab you.
Yeah, like champions on paper, this should be a really close fight. Just a close game in general. Pretty much everybody's going to be skirmishing all the time. However, I think I'm going to have to give the match to White Lotus just because of the sheer like late game power that Akali, Camille, and Zac have. Right. Lucian, not so much. He tends to fall off compared to the Tristana. Poppy is just going to be one of those that's really going to play a big, important part into trying to keep Lucian in a spot where he's comfortable and not falling off.
Yeah, as I say, it'll definitely be a challenge for Arrow as the game drags on to deal with the constant routes of engage that Zac, Camille, and Akali, who are all able to just jump on Tristana at a moment's notice. It'll be really interesting to see if the frontliners will be able to get all their peel out to really keep Arrow safe, because Arrow is definitely going to be the crux of DPS in this NFG lineup. And if they're able to do that, if they're able to peel for him and get him out of these fights safely, then NFG will have a clear route to victory. And that is what they're looking for, and that is what White Lotus is looking to shut down here with their aggression. But we're heading to a commercial break, and we'll catch you guys on the Rift.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate GXPC in Decorah, Iowa. GXPC is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The GXPC motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out GXPC and experience this geek gaming paradise.
And we are in game. Welcome to Games XP. We've got White Lotus, and we've got no Fs given. We are looking to get this started. Rand Shield's coming out on... Apparently, he's Sword now. He's transferred from Arrow to Sword. I promise you through all that lobby I was staring at Arrow. Now I'm looking at a Sword, so I'm going to end up calling him both. He can be Sword, he can be Arrow. He is a weapon. He is the weapon of NFG.
They're both pointy things, so
Right.
let's just call him Pointy
I'm
from now on.
That'll really make an interesting cast if I call him Pointy for the rest of this match.
Nice mastery. Beautiful.
Only soft PM here. Ping's going down and around, nothing really going on. Looking to just get things going. People are sitting in lanes right now and just kind of things going down. Nothing really fancy going around the jungle.
I think this is the dullest start to a game I've seen.
It's been a while, honestly.
Just standing around, not doing anything. Come on, get out there and throw some little pokies.
No one wants any weird stuff coming out. That's fine. We're gonna see taps through the jungle. Gonna go through pretty standards. This side gonna try to probably meet up in the top lane. And already we see the level 1 aggression coming out from ZZ and Fuji. That's gonna go in Fuji's favor with that electrocute, of course.
Yeah, ZZ's got to be careful. That Akali damage early is just going to get even worse. So he needs to play it smart.
Oh, we see an instant, the 3-man coming out from the Sword. He's gonna try to pop over the Uritas, and Theo's gonna flash out of there. That's a nice early flash they're taking.
Yeah, I don't think Trundle was quite ready for that gank. But, you know, sure. Go for it.
If I'm gonna gank Lucian's D button, that is completely fine. ZZ missing out the stun here. Fuji's putting a lot of damage return on ZZ. He's really got to be careful with this. Because Kali gets a lot of sustain. That's an ignite coming down onto ZZ. I think he's dead here. The last tick does not take him out, and he survives. Fortunate, he gets his own ignite flash off, and he's actually going to survive through that.
That 5 health, super OP.
That is just enough. Any amount more than 0 will keep you alive in this game, thankfully. We're looking for a little more aggression, so he's going to get shoved out of that lane is the important thing. Fuji got what he wanted. He burned both the summoners down on TZ and also managed to stay laning. He's putting up a hefty CS lead right now. He's going to back for a lot of money.
Yeah, and this is one of those things that Irelia in the early game tends to struggle with is she's not very effective at CSing. Once you like get Triforce or, you know, that first item, that's when she starts to really kind of tick off, but right now it's totally Fuji's game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's rough, especially when you're playing melee versus a Kali who's even while CSing has these AoE spells and is looking to really get on top of you. It's rough for Aurelia, who while you're not really just able to chain kill minions with Q immediately, you're really just kind of putting yourself in the face of a Kali who's always going to take swings at you. Being an energy champion, being the champion that just has those inherent skill combos, it's a lot easier for her to just harass you while you're trying to CS, which essentially forces you to say, well, if you're going to keep poking me in the face, I'm going to eventually try to fight you. And then if you don't land the Aurelia stun, it just kind of gets worse and worse for you. Fresh Burger putting a lot of aggression down on Harbinger, actually finds the double auto attacks, dodges out the Eye of the Empire. Harbinger's in a precarious spot right now.
I'm really surprised that Swain's having a hard time in this top lane. He should have the range and the damage to be able to kind of poke Camille out a lot better than what he's doing.
Yeah, I was saying, he's not even having a spell out. Missing a lot of these stuns. Freshburger's going to find another flash. Finds a second auto. Takes tower shot, takes one more tower shot, and actually is going to go down. Overchunk him. Oh, we're going to see Jazer Penguin. Finds a combo on Ethereal, but Ethereal's going to turn it on Sword. Sword has the Ignite on, finds the auto attack. Jazer Penguin finds the kill, but he's going to get ignited. Has to get away from the Poppy. But there's no follow-up as he rocket jumps back out. Jazer Penguin, oh no! Daydreams! He's actually going to turn around. He might not find the combo, but go back to mid lane, and ZZ's trying to find another fight. But Jazer Penguin gonna get him back out of there. Yurta smashes back around. We're just getting the camera thrown all the way around. And in the end of the day, NFG find the kill. Arrow Sword does not go down.
He's pointy now.
Yeah, he's that's all that matters. Harbinger is Good. I believe he teleported back in the lane there, so both teleports getting some of those top laners. So he's doing a nice job, despite the harass we saw coming out from the Aurelia that really put him pretty low health. He's not losing too much CS in response for it, so doing a decent enough job. Spending a lot of money on these spells to try to harass Camille back, but again, we'll probably slowly see a lead get built up for Freshburger, but because he constantly has the threat of that hook shot on the Camille to really... Ooh, Aurelia finds a stun, but disappear into the smoke. Unfortunate. Finds another stun, another single auto. Comes the true damage. Goes for the ultimate in the return, but there's Freshburger's ultimate. Gonna wait to dodge out the explosion. It's a back and forth battle here. Ooh, finds the kill off the root.
Very well played on Harvey's part.
Super nicely done. Found him with a never move, so he wasn't able to get his ultimate off because he was snared down, and then popped him with a demon flare. Very nicely done. Fuji looking for something on ZZ. Yurtaz is here, finds a pillar on the 2 back. Fuji's hitting in the smoke here. Gets the ignite down onto Yurtaz, actually flashes out. I think he's gonna go down to that ignite. Tries to find the stun, actually Yurtaz is still alive. These almost ignite kills are gotta be really frustrating for Fuji.
Oh yeah, I bet. He's trying to get that early spiraling lead, and they're just denying him that.
Ooh, here we go. ASAP's trying to get the poke down on Fuji. I think if ASAP hits level 6 in the middle of this, he might try to look for something. The smoke comes down.
I don't think ZZ has the damage output to really take it on at a level 6 anyways, so I don't think it would be the smartest play.
Yeah, I was gonna say Akali she has a lot of sustain built into her kit and 1 or 2 of her spells, so it's not a low health Akali doesn't look as free for an Aurelia as a lot of other low health enemies for her. So if you get into sort of that back and forth fight while you're trying to DPS her down and Akali suddenly burst heals, you end up on the bad end of the trade there. So ASAP's really gotta watch out for that. Now Fuji's sitting on a 2-level lead. I think he wants to get this cannon minion to find level 6. Doesn't find level 6 there. ASAP's gotta be careful. Freshburger's gonna go back in for the hook shot. He gets a lot of damage in the return trade, but Yurtaz is here now. Fuji's gonna backflip over the pillar, but Yurtaz is still coming. Doesn't have a lot of mana. He's gotta be careful. He just goes near the tower.
Yeah, Harbinger actually putting out some decent damage in that last fight. You saw that big chunk he took out.
Yeah, let's see the back and forth trade between Swain's sort of machine gun hand. I don't really know what I want to call it, a shotgun hand, and the tactical sweep outer range on Camille is a very significant amount of her damage. The outer end of the sweep does, I believe, 8% of the target's max HP, and Swain, has the catalyst, has a lot of health built, so he's getting a lot of chunk, and it also heals her for a portion of the damage that it deals, so he's ending up coming out nicely on these trades. Ooh, we're seeing the stun come out from Daydreams. Blocks the Alistar knock him in. Sora's gonna go down here as his rocket jump also gets blocked out. But we're trying to see Jace or Penguin to get down in Ethereal. If he can get another skill off, he might get the kill here. But he's not gonna find it in time. Jace or Penguin has to get out of there. A very nice pickup kill. Utilizing the... what is the skill called? I don't remember Poppy's W. I'm gonna look at it right now. It is called Steadfast Presence on the Poppy. Really stopping both the Alistar go in as well as the Tristana rocket jump. Not really able to get out. But I see a gank here come in the top lane. Harbinger goes for the ultimate. Sprigger's got to look for somewhere to go. Tries to lock him in and goes for the hook shot afterwards. Harbinger might still find him there. Goes to tackle sweep for the slow. Misses out the snare. And they're going to escape that gank. White Lotus at the same time as they look for the Inferno Dragon here. Jace Penguin really not able to do much. Sort of has to go for a power play here if he wants something to happen. But the Steadfast turns up so he can't go for the headbutt. Ooh, Kairos getting knocked aside. He doesn't quite land the slingshot, but he traps in James Penguin, who doesn't have the ultimate available. They're going to find the kill. Sword trying to find the return kill on Daydreams. Rocket jumps over. Can't decide if he wants to leave or try to find the kill on Daydreams. Ethereal's going in, finds the dash, finds the auto attack, looking for the return kill, finds it and flashes after. And finds the kill.
These are just not being played.
We've still got action. ASAP ZZ missing the stun. Goes through, tries to find the return kill. ASAP ZZ taking the kill onto Fuji, as he isn't able to find it through Yurtaz. Just back and forth, up and down. Everybody's finding kills, but at the end of the day, White Lotus is definitely capitalizing on these.
Yeah, however, I do feel like a lot of them are kind of like sloppily played. I mean, some of them have been fairly clean, but some just could use some work in some of those plays.
They're definitely not getting the super clean, White Lotus play that they're looking for. They're definitely showing the cracks in these early play, but at the same time, they're finding a lot of what they want in the bot lane, and it's becoming rougher for Sword on this Tristana to get himself scaled up on this now O2 Tristana, facing down the barrel of the 2-1 Lucian for him to really make an answer here. And if you see the Blade of the Rune King at 10.5 minutes, it's already finished on this Lucian, and that's going to be a huge power spike for him to deal with, the bulkiness of the Trundle and Swain, neither of whom are really building into armor right now, and just have a lot of health. So being able to burn them down with that Blade of the Rune King is going to be a nice little boon for the Lucian as they look to move around the map here.
Hey, Skyson, did you know that Alistair's dyslexic?
How so?
He's always
Unfortunate. What are we going to see? Freshberry keeps on going. Nothing is going to happen here. So, we're going to see the rotation top lane for the side of White Lotus. They're going to shuffle around here as they send Fuji down to the bot lane. And I think that Harbinger should be able to answer him. He has the Rod of Ages, and he's got a solid 2-1 kill, so I don't think he's too worried about Akali suddenly jumping on him and getting the kill. But misses out the snare there. Fuji might look for something here. He has the Ignite available, of course, so a lot of Swain's heal is going to get. But it's rough because you see the Demon Slayer standing on the Akali who's getting drained a little bit. As we see another fight come here on the Trundle, gonna get locked down by Daydreams, and that damage on that Lucian is absolutely massive. Jace or Penguin might look for the sun here, finds the sun, Sword's gonna jump over the side, Ethereal gets blown up, and that's 4 now on top of Daydreams, has nowhere to go on the Poppy, finds the double kill for Sword, and at the same time we see Akali, Fuji sitting on the side, a sliver of health as he has to watch out for the Swain here, and they're gonna turn it on the Rift Herald.
Yeah, great play by NFG, really dividing and conquering right there and being able to take that scuttle. I don't think Karios can do anything about this.
They did go look for the drive-by here on the Elastic Slingshot or something else. They are not going to get it, and that was exactly what they're looking for. NFG doing a beautiful job there of watching the Trundle passive there was really wild. Trundle passive, of course, he heals 3% max HP off of anything that dies around him. So, of course, they kill the Rift Herald, and then he all of a sudden gets a full heal off that. Kind of wild.
I mean, Trundle's just a troll, so, you know.
Wild. Imagine that happening in the middle of a fight. You think you've killed Trundle, and then all of a sudden Rift Herald dies, then he's back at full health, literally. And you're just like, oops, why did I let that happen?
Because you got trolled.
Right. Unfortunate. So we see Fresh Burger here in the mid lane now with ZZ. He's put himself in a little bit better position on the Irelia, and of course is only about 30 CS down to Fuji, but he's up a kill and an assist, so sitting kind of nice. And of course, Fresh Burger sitting at a roughly 15 lead over his enemy laner. Neither of them are looking at their laner now. They decided to move to fresher horizons as White Lotus looking to capitalize on that top lane. ZZ finds a stun into Fresh Burger, but I don't think that's really a fight he wants to pick. Camille will definitely take that fight, and they're looking for Fuji now. Fuji backflips over the Trundle pillar, but they might keep going. Wayne finds the root. Fuji has nowhere to go here. And Yurta's going to take a kill.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to, you know, just a few minutes before that fight, they were even gold.
Ooh, Sword goes to the jump. Daydreams get knocked into the wall. The Culling's going to come down on Jace or Penguin as he has the ultimate. Knocks up Daydreams, but here comes Kairos. He has to get out of there. He headbutts to a minion to get himself out. The 2 for 3 on the side of NFG. They really got to decide if they want to defend this tower. The Rift Herald is going to come out on the bot lane on the side of NFG. A nice little call to see the 3 at top for White Lotus. They're really going to have to answer that or they're going to lose some towers down here. That bot tower is most definitely going to go down.
I don't think they're going to really pull it out. I think they might as well just try to trade that tower, even though they're losing out on first tower gold. It looks like they're just going to give it a good quits because the Rift Herald's still down there.
Yeah, so the Herald is definitely going to do a significant amount of housing, but they're going to look to engage here. They're coming down on Daydream. Daydream's have the ult. I'm Jason Penguin. He's going to get catched up with his Zac ultimate. Ethereal's going to go down, guns him down. Looking for Sword now. They turn around. Zac not die here. Teleport's coming out for Harbinger, but the teleport's going to come in for Fresh Burger here. He's going to get locked up. The Irelia going to come through. They're looking for a huge fight here. Sword's on the side. Unanswered right now. Sword finds the kill on the Poppy. Fresh Burger has to get away from the Swain ultimate. And Ethereal doesn't find the kill. The tactical sweep comes in, but Sword comes in immediately, finds Fresh Burger, pops the blast gun away. Now looking for Irelia, not finding the stun. ASAP might go for a Q, or tactical sweep's going to slow him down. And he's not able to make the follow, but they watching out. Yuritoss on the side here, but trying to answer Fuji, but they're going to ignore Fresh Burger here, who has hookshot available. Going to get slowed up, gets himself out.
I feel like that was a little bit of a miscommunication there. They could have kept pressuring on the Akali, but
I think they definitely wanted to turn in on the Camille there when Yuritoss is coming up, but he kind of got distracted by the ninja on top of him and decided that was a good place for him to go. But regardless, we are definitely going to see the turnaround, and FG is immediately going to go up, blow up that dragon. So they're going to put another objective in their pocket to even out the Infernal Drakes. And this is starting to look not too bad for NFG.
yeah, I mean, it's still only a 1k gold difference, just under that, I should say.
Karas getting knocked in the center of things. Daydream's going to get put behind the pillar. They're not going to find the kill there. Ooh, we just see the NFG crews running around here. More of the same. Daydream's doing a good job of, gatekeeping on this Poppy. It's a lot of what you wanted from the pick to stop a good bit of the engage. Of course, the Alistar not able to just immediately run into the center of fights with Poppy present and able to say, hey, please stay away from my team. I don't want you here. I don't need you here. At the same time, we might see a fight happen in the top lane. ZZ a little confident, has the Sheen in there. The Eye of the Empire coming out from the Swain, and Freshberg is going to retreat to tower now.
And just to give everybody a little reminder, you can actually try to pin your bets on the actual MVP of the games once the games are over and we pick an MVP. If you pick the same MVP, you get a little bit of extra side points, so that's always cool.
There's a lot of points. I think it's like 3,000 or 5,000. Some very high amount of. Well, I mean, it's relative to your bet, I believe. It is 2,000 points. 2K grand ones. However, also remember, if you haven't already set your bets for this match, you can still set it in the middle of this match. I believe the contest for that goes on for another 30 minutes or so. So make sure you get your bets in for either NFG or White Lotus. NFG is definitely making a strong showing here in this early game, that they're not just another team to fall over to White Lotus. So we'll see how that continues to go.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the desk says about the bet differentials, what the percentages are.
Ooh, Jason Penguin looks for the engage on the Zac, but Zac goes the ultimate, disappears before he can get the ultimate off. A nice kill going to start. Puppy's going to knock away too. Jason Penguin on the ignite. He's going to go down as Tristana finds the kill. Oh, dodges out. But Fuji's going to get back over the wall as he flashes over the Baron Pit. But Fuji's going to flash in there with him. Yuritoss tries to get him for help, but they can't do anything against Tristana. And now a flash from Ethereal. And now they're caught in the Baron Pit. Yuritoss is going to go down to the Akali, and a double kill is going to come through for Fuji.
I think that was a little bit of a bad play on Yuritoss's part. With Akali in there with the Tristana, there wasn't much he was going to be able to do to try to stop that. So yeah. I'm not really sure why he decided to flash in there.
Yeah, I think he wanted to turn around with the Tristana to put a lot of damage through. With the Tristana able to turn around for a little bit of the DPS before he went down, maybe added on top of the Trundle Qs and on top of the Trundle Ultimate to get something going there, but did not work out, and sort of went down a little bit quicker than they would have liked, and Fuji put the kills in his pocket here. For those who's curious, before we swing the bets in a little other direction, we are sitting at 43% of the bets for White Lotus and 57% of the bets for NFG. So make sure you get your voice heard. That's interesting.
That's actually pretty close for the bets that I've seen thus far. A lot of bets that I've seen have just been straight up 100%. This team's winning. This definitely seems to be the oddball, and it honestly looks like NFG could take this first game.
Yeah, so I mean, you see it a lot. You see it a lot of teams that get an early lead over White Lotus, and you're seeing it in this game. You're seeing that NFG is 3 kills ahead, but the towers are even, and the CS is still sliding over to the side of White Lotus. Both of the solo laners are up 30 and 50 CS, so the gold lead is actually still in White Lotus's favor. So they're not falling. They're not just losing deaths and just falling behind and not really able to come back. They're really still ahead, and they're still in a comfortable position on this White Lotus side. So it's really just going to come down to the same thing that's happening to a lot of these teams. They have to come together and fight these team fights head on and not hand over these objectives like this.
Yeah, that being said, the gold lead is still fairly minimal, so it's totally within a tolerance for one team or the other to really run away with this game.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more, but we're seeing the pings come down. They're trying to set something up here. Yurta's going to walk into Daydreams and Fuji. He's going to get burst down a little bit. Fuji's definitely a huge threat. Has a stopwatch available along with the gunblade on the Sakali. That is a lot of damage coming out from her. Now we see ASAP ZZ setting up a stun and fresh burger. I don't think... Oh, he's going to go for the ultimate to get it locked in the Camille ultimate, but he walks through on one of the knives. He's going to end up flashing out of there. He's ignited. Really doing a nice job of getting himself out. But Jace for Penguin moving around in the south to try to make something happen. Nice play from ZZ. Really getting a lot of damage down on Fresh Burger, even though he has that level advantage. Has the item advantage mostly, but well, roughly the same, similar in items. But he's gonna end up getting the better end of that fight.
Yeah, the Triforce is the really big one there. You know, Triforce on Aurelia is just like #1, hands down, best item you can get for. On Camille, I don't think it's like the best. I think, you know, probably like a Ravenous Hydra or something would be the best item for her. But the Triforce is pretty good part.
Fuji finds a stopwatch in time. They're looking for that. Jason Penguin, he's actually going to disappear. Fuji's out of this fight. They're looking for more. Sword is in the backline. Nobody's touching him. And he's just going to get kill after kill after kill. He's going to go down, not quite disappearing. He's going to find the rocket jump. He's looking for more. Sword is on the side here. Sword's looking for kills. Finds a kill on Daydreams. Looks for the rocket jump trying to get to Fresh Burger. And he's not going to get there. But that is the fight that NFG is looking for. That's a 4-for-1 in their favor.
Yeah, it's really surprising that they didn't get on that backline to really do anything to Tristana. It looked like they might have tried a little bit, but they didn't really give it a good hard attempt. She's where most of that damage came from. And they just basically allowed NFG to say, all right, the dragon's ours, and now we're going to take some towers, and you guys just kind of get stuck with the bill.
Yeah, so that collapse was definitely what they were looking for. James Penguin doing an amazing job of finding a Kali off that engage, sending her the knockup, barely giving her time to set the stopwatch, and right as soon as she came with the stopwatch, Sword was ready with the Storm Razor. It was the Storm Razor and maybe the Rapid Fire at the same time. I don't think he had it finished yet. But finding the auto attack basically to kill her before she was even able to throw up a skill. And removing Fuji from that fight definitely gave Sword the breathing room he was looking for. Fresh Burger wasn't quite ready to... I mean, the whole of White Lotus really wasn't ready for a call to be knocked up for them to immediately respond to the call of a fight. So it was oh... We're seeing a little bit of the Steadfast One's going to knock back the Alistair. Daedrin's going to stay alive. Ethereal's got to watch out here. Jace or Penguin is a constant threat here. Z's going to try to slide in. Standing in the Akali circle here.
And we can just see the pings coming from NFG just going crazy. I mean, at least they were.
Yeah, they're trying to make some advantage out of these kills that they're finding, and I mean they have several strong members of their team right now, and sitting on the item advantage on a couple spots over the side of White Lotus, and it's really going to be important for them to capitalize on this. This is what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for, a team to build over White Lotus and get something out. Where CJ's or Penguin tries to get in onto Ethereal, gonna get locked back with a center, but we're gonna see Poppy put back in. Has the Aurelia ultimate, and Daedrin's gonna disappear here. More flashes coming through on the bottom side, but we see ZZ slide in. We're trying to watch two fights happen at the same time. Ethereal's gonna get a lot of damage down. Ethereal's gonna flash out. Yurta's trying to get onto Fuji. Yurta's gonna get grabbed up. Looking for a little more as they find that down into Yurta's. But that is still a solid kill coming through on the side of NFG.
Yeah, they're showing even in these little skirmishes where they don't get much, they're still gaining a lot of ground. They've actually increased. They've taken the gold lead and increased it in their favor about 2.5K. So.
Ooh, they find the pullback onto Ethereal, but the Zaxxon to try to come in. Gets knocked up by the Alistair. They stop that. Zaxxon and Kidnap. Gonna take him back in there, but it's not enough. That's a double kill for Uritas. Swain sitting on the side is gonna get caught up by Fuji, and he finds the kill. But Uritas is just a monster right now, looking and surviving through these fights, trying to get onto everybody. Fuji's got on the run right now. Sword's looking for a little more. He's gonna get caught up by. He's gonna get through on the pillar. Fuji is sitting there trying to find somebody to kill, but I don't know if he's going to find anybody. He's going to have to backflip over that wall. Doesn't quite find the Aurelia Sun. Sword finds the ultimate, and it's not enough to get the kill. Sword finds the jump. He's looking for more. He has the Rapid Fire. Finds the auto attack. Gets the kill done on the Fuji. And they're going to look for Baron now.
That was exactly where you didn't want to jump to, Zach.
Yeah, that was not the position he wanted to get put in. Yeah, oh, that was the Zac ultimate that brought. I was really confused. That was Zac ultimate bringing him backwards. For some reason, I thought that was Zac being brought by some others. I thought that was Alistair headbutting Zac to the team. That was a Zac ultimate.
Yeah, it was exactly where he didn't want to go.
Harbinger is going to disappear there in the midst of that fight. Not quite able to outrun the Camille Poppy engage, but one Baron buff can get taken out on the side of NFG. So. But they are quite content with what they've taken there.
You know, my whole goal now, Skyson, is to throw you off with a really bad pun, and it's yet to work. So
that's not gonna happen. I am on a warpath to destroy all puns. But similarly, NFG is on a warpath to end White Lotus's win streak here, and they're making a very convincing bet for it. Sword sitting on this 8-3 and 8 Tristana definitely has the power to, and if we see more of those team fights happen, where Jace or Penguin is able to get in the center, the core of White Lotus, and really shake them up, and prevent, and just the longer Sword goes unanswered in these fights, NFG is on an incredible path to, you know, opening up a game 1 here.
Yeah, and with almost a, they got like a 6K gold lead right now, almost.
About a 5K, 5.5 right now, yeah.
Yeah. So you know that's a substantial amount. I mean, granted, we're almost 30 minutes into the game, so it's not too terrible, but still pretty substantial.
Poppy ultimate not gonna find anything, but it's gonna do Zac. Am I gonna kidnap 4 there? Absolutely beautiful. That brought him to the center team, and Arrow's gonna disappear. Sword disappears. They don't have their damage now. ZZ's looking for more on this Aurelia. Gets the kill, gets the Zac passive, but Fuji's hanging around the side now, trying to find somebody. Gonna get knocked up. Pops the hourglass. But the Aurelia stun is hovering. They're looking for something here. Finds a smoke cloud now. Jace or Penguin's gonna disappear. Harbinger does everything on the Swain, and the rest of their forces gonna get burned down. And White Lotus is finding 4. ZZ may go down here very soon. Finds the hook shot, finds the stun. ZZ not able to turn around and get anything happen. Stuns 3, but the shutdown comes through, and the ace comes in. The 5-for-1 on the side of White Lotus.
That was exactly what they wanted to do. Really turning that around.
Unlike the last fight, which had all the things you don't want to do with a Zac ult, that was all the things you wanted to do with the Zac ult, and kidnap 4 people.
Yeah, exactly. And bring them into your own tower. Like, let them take that damage. That's the big thing. They got Pointy out of there like nobody's business, and then just demolished the rest of the team.
Yeah, that was the exact opposite of what NFC would have wanted for a fight. Getting Sword absolutely devastated before he was really able to even hit a button in that fight.
Yeah, and then, you know, obviously they're taking this this Mountain Drake, but that's going to close the gold gap back up to just about a little over a K.
Yeah, let's say they're very quickly proving that, oh, well, Fuji's got to watch out here. Gets the backflip away from Yurtaz, but sets up the pillar. He's going to flip again. I don't know how many backflips Akali gets. It's apparently just 8. And
she's like Talon.
Right.
Flips her flipping fun.
That's. But so they're gonna lock her out of there. But I think that even after the little bit of the forced reset, I think NFG is still in a good position. I think that it's definitely something now that they respect the Zac pick. They respect the sort of avenues of engage that Kairos can look for on the Zac with a slingshot. I mean, that fight he came out. Oh, Jason Penguin. They're looking for Kairos there. He has the ultimate. He's going to kidnap all 3, but he's really not taking them to anybody. He's going to E out and actually escape
I mean, you do what you got to do, right?
Right, I'm just impressed with that got him out of there. Good lord. We are seeing some things come through. We're seeing the CS lead get built up. And of course, we're sitting at about a 70 lead for Fresh Burger, sitting at roughly 50 to 60 on the side of Fuji. So they're definitely doing a good job. They're sitting now back down at a 2K deficit, but it's not at this point in 30-minute mark. 2K gold across the rest of the team.
That's close.
Yeah, it's close. It's not really a major item for one person. There's not really a lot of gold being put in one person. I mean, I believe the most of the money is sitting in Arrows, but yeah, he's 14K. Next highest person on the rest of his team is 10K, so he's sitting at a substantially dead. He's finished the Guardian Angel here. I mean, a very important pickup. If they try to go for another one of those kidnapping pops, Sword is going to be able to sit as he's reviving in the center of a fight, and it'll be a little bit for him to get back up and try to make something happen.
Just a quick note, that second big team fight that we had, where Zach did exactly what Zach should do, NFG actually had Baron buff, I believe.
Yeah.
So...
Laser Penguin finds the knockup on 2, looking for more. They might find a big fight here, but Yurtot's going to get in there. At the same time, ZZ's going to set up the ultimate. Sword's going to jump around, try to get... Freshberg is going to lock him up into the Camille, and he has nowhere to go. He's going to heal up, though. They actually managed to peel for him. The Guardian Angel's going to come through. Fuji's on the side looking for the kill. Zach's going to kidnap everybody. Sword separated from the start of the fight. Sword's going to jump away. They're going to try to find more. This is going in FG's favor very slowly. James Penguin finds the knockup, but they're looking for more. Ethereal's on the side now. Ethereal's nowhere to go. Fuji's not able to find anything either. They might hunt him down. Minions are going to reveal him here. They have to be careful. But at the same time, that is the fight that MG was looking for. They find the 3-for-1, and they're going to storm the base now. Fuji's on the side here. Oh.
I think Fuji's looking to try to assassinate the Tristana there.
Open. But, ooh, he's looking for Sword. Flashes away, knocks him away with a buster shot. Very nicely done. He's going to disappear there. They take the tower, they take the Akali, and NFG's going to walk away with it.
It was a good attempt. I'll give Akali that. It was a good attempt, Fuji.
Say, had Tristana not had the ult, I mean, I wouldn't have been too surprised for a team fight that lasted that long to imagine that Tristana would have had to have ulted at some point. So to not realize that Tristana still had the ultimate available, that was just costly for Fuji. But had that not happened, he'd be fine. So we're going to see backs, we're going to see some more items come in, we're going to see the Almond coming in on the side of... Who is there? Anyone's on? I don't even remember that. I'm looking on Trundle's side right now. Interesting pickup. Looking for a little more. White Lotus looking to shove in this top lane. Stun going to try to come in. He's going to miss it up. He's going to stun into the tower. He's going to pop the stopwatch, though. As they look for a little more on this rally, he's going to get knocked by the pop y'all. They're looking for more here. Actually going to send Freshburger in the center of the team. He's going to flash out of there after ulting him his way in. Yurtot's going to try to lock up Daydreams.
It looks like they're biting off more than they can chew anymore in these team fights.
Oh, Jason Penguin getting locked up by the steadfast presence, but he still finds... Zach's going to find Tristana in the backline. Arrow's going to get brought in. Sword's going to try to do his best to kite away. He's going to get caught out. He's going to get found on the side, but it's not enough. They have enough damage. Sword's going to find the Hourglass Fuji. Finds the kill before he can make a response. Double kill for Sword. He's looking for Fresh Burger now. Finds the tactical sweep. And the triple kill comes in for Sword. And it's way too much for them to deal with. Sword's going to jump in now. And NFG is on a tear right now. They are definitely doing exactly, and this is what we talked about in the opening, that this draft for NFG has given them so much of a threatening front line that even on the Akali and the Camille, they're not able to just say, hey, we can get past this Swain, Aurelia, Trundle, and get on top of Tristana. You can't ignore them, because Aurelia, if you're going for the Tristana, NFG might actually be looking for the game here. It's just Daydreams and Ethereal. He has to do something. You're going to get knocked aside. They're looking in the game, and they take it. NFG takes game 1 over White Lotus.
Not really that surprising, honestly. You know, like you were saying, it's to protect the Tristana, and you know, if you can't have any hopes against the Irelia and the Trundle, what makes you think you're going to get to Tristana to begin with?
Yeah, that was definitely not the draft that I believe White Lotus was looking for. They theoretically had a lot of the engagement. Fuji was definitely on the Akali, definitely looking to scout out for some of those kills. But the issue that they ran into was really Yuratas. Yuratas was doing a wonderful job on Yuratas and Jay Serpengu. Jay found an incredible amount of engages on this Alistar, and it was a horrifying threat for them to really. And I mean, a lot of fights you'd find Fuji or somebody knocked up from the Alistar, and that was just the go button. Because on top of the Alistar, you have the Aurelia stun, you have the Trundle Pillar, you have so many different things that are just constant threats for White Lotus to watch out for, that Sword is really able to just hang tight in the back and really just enjoy the power of a front line.
Yeah, and a little bit on the damage here. Swain dealing the most damage in the game, almost 10k more than Arrow Sword Pointy guy. So, the difference was, Swain had 38,427 damage versus Tristana's 29,997. And that was the second, almost the second most in the game. On White Lotus's side, it was Akali and Lucian, literally 288 damage difference.
And you see that. You see both of them putting out 31,000 damage to champions, and so much of that was spent on NFG's frontline. You saw, Sword only died 4 times that match, and he got a Guardian Angel popped at one point. So you just saw that so much of that damage White Lotus had to contribute was spent on NFG's frontline, and they weren't able to get through to them in time to really stop the Tristana from being monstrous there. So it's really working out for them. If
White Lotus really wants to try to take this next game, if NFG drafts a similar composition that protect the ADC style comp, you need to have somebody with a lot more engage. But having the Zac was nice, but having the Malphite there would have been awesome. The Braum was taken away, but you could have somebody like Leona or Thresh, Nautilus. You got to be able to get in there to try to do anything. And the way that they built their team was very similar to NFG's, where they just wanted to protect Lucian, but Lucian doesn't nearly have the tower taking damage or just the overall DPS that Tristana was dealing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we definitely want to see an adjustment in White Lotus's draft here. They're definitely not quite giving as much respect to they really didn't just get the authority to really just jump on Arrow and say, hey, this is how we end the fight. And NFG proving that they're able to rally together a composition that puts out the proper threats to really stop these attempts from White Lotus to really get on top of anybody. And having access to that Alistar, that first pick Alistar was absolutely beautiful for Jay there.
Yeah, it was definitely a good pick in that bot lane, the Alistar Tristana.
And I'm looking forward to seeing that, but I believe we're going to go to a commercial break here before we get into game 2. And we are back. Welcome to Games XP Championship. We are heading to game 2 of White Lotus versus No F's Given. And it's currently 1-0 NFG. And we'll be getting over to the pro draft for game 2. So, gonna switch that over.
What are you expecting to see in the draft phase?
I am looking forward to... I don't know. I don't want to see Lucian again, is what I don't want to see on Ethereal's side. I really think that he needs to not commit himself to, barreling down this early aggression, because NFG has shown themselves able to, bring the early jungle ganks, bring the early aggression to really, put the Lucian pick down. So I think that Ethereal wants to put himself on a pick. He has there's the Jhin. There's, he could take the Tristana for himself because I believe White Lotus has first pick in this draft, but it's definitely. Ooh, Aurelia ban gonna come in.
Yeah, so far we got the virus Irelia banned from White Lotus and Braum being banned from NFG.
Oh yeah,
and Anivia. I'm not sure about that one, but okay.
I feel like that was a misclick. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe Fuji has a secret Anivia that he's gonna pull out every now and then and do some work with.
However, I like the Alistair ban coming out of White Lotus because it's going to take away a little bit of that pressure if they do end up getting the Tristana on NFG.
Yeah, so definitely taking away I was going to say, the adjustment in bans I want to see White Lotus now is definitely the Alistair. You have to get that away from Jay. He's the absolute monster on that pick. So we are going to see the Katarina is open on the side of White Lotus, so I believe this might be NFG's challenge for Fuji to take that, but they are going to take the Swain here. Now,
interesting first pick.
I think that's going to be a top lane Swain because I have seen Freshburger play Swain. I believe one game he's put it on, and I don't believe Fuji has any games on Swain. So they're more willing to say, hey, we're going to take this top lane away. But they do leave up the Urgot and the Aatrox for Harbinger. But...
Lucian Thresh. Interesting.
Okay, Arrow's going to take the Lucian and say, well, Ethereal, I'm going to show you how this is played. That is a bold statement.
So, what do we want to see White Lotus answer that bot lane with? That's the question. I kind of want to... The Kench is a nice pick. So, Kench can flex the support or the top lane. Swain could flex the top to the mid. Kai'Sa ADC. So, they want to get in there and they want to get kill potential. I have a feeling this is going to be the same composition we watched last game that didn't really work out in their favor.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I like the Kai'Sa pick. I definitely think that Kai'Sa is a champion that facilitates carrying and scaling into the later portions of the game a lot better. But... Fuji. Hey, Fuji has been subbed. Fuji is not playing mid lane in this series, or this game. This is going to be switched in for Novosis, who I believe, yeah, that's definitely a sub for White Lotus. So I've not seen him play at all. So it'll be interesting to see if White Lotus makes some adjustments here. Now wait a minute.
Fizz ban.
I think that... Oh, a bit of confusion there on the rules. You lose, I believe you lose the second round bans both games.
Oh, is this an E sub?
Yes, I believe the mid laner ASAP ZZ. Yeah, we talked about it. He's I believe they added him to the roster, but it didn't count until effective next week. So using him in the game as of now is counted as an E sub. I believe. Good luck.
Might have to wait from confirmation from the desk here.
Looking for the post. So now they added him. I know he's there. I've got to find him. Wait, who's the... Forgot who the freaking... Yeah, you are right. Okay, so we're not going to see the... Alright, so we've got confirmation. The second round rotation bans do not come through for NFG, so Ari and Amumu are on the table. And we are going to see Annie be the proxy there. That is going to be Amumu on the side of White Lotus for their jungle, since that ban is not effective. And we are going to see the Camille come in on the side of NFG, so they're going to take a couple picks out of White Lotus's book from game 1 and turn it on him.
I do like the Galio pickup though. That is a nice little addition to their team. Give them a little bit more CC.
Yeah, so I believe this is going to be the Camille jungle for Eurotas. And we're going to see most likely Aatrox in the top lane, Galio in the mid, and Camille in the jungle. So that'll be nice to see the Darius Aatrox matchup. That'll be a really bloodthirsty fight between the two. We're going to see Swain in the mid lane now for the mid laner Novosis. What do I want to see from this? Because it's a lot of the same. You have different avenues of engage now on the side of NFG. You have the Thresh hook. You have the Camille entry off the hook side, and then of course a Galio ultimate on top of anybody is just extra oomph to whatever anyone wants to add to a team fight. While on the side of White Lotus, you have less of the, AoE team fight engage. I mean, you have a Mumu ultimate. That's pretty much your major start to a team fight on an AoE scale. But you have things like the Tom Kench getting on top of somebody. You have the Darius pull. You have the, Swain snare. You have sort of miniature, very, very good skirmishing tools on the side of White Lotus. So you can tell that they're looking to not let NFG get to a position where they're able to, scale up, and just want to kind of shut them down with a lot of laning pressure this time.
Yeah, it's a pretty... both teams are really looking to try to take this game, and you can kind of tell by the lineup. There's a good amount of CC, a good amount of damage coming through in both teams. So really what the play is going to look like is, can White Lotus continue to play efficiently in lane, but try to keep up with the rotations that NFG brought last game?
Yeah, it'll definitely be a neat mix here. So we're not going to see the bans come through. We're going to see the Mumu is in. I don't know. I like it. What I don't think I like, I don't think I like Arrow taking the Lucian. I will definitely say that much. I don't feel like Lucian is really conducive to what they want to do. I mean, they have Camille Aatrox and Thresh, who are just looking to make early plays and just kind of stomp early mid to transition the game in their favor, but I don't think that it really suits them as much as... And if I look at the order that things went, I think that they could have... I think that responding and taking Kai'Sa in the first rotation really would have been better, because I think Kai'Sa is a champion that has the ability to really, have relevance through most stages of the game. Like, hitting one item, hitting two, hitting three items, Kai'Sa just progressively gets more scary. But it's not like Lucian, who will eventually at some point come to a break and just not be able to be a persistent threat. And I think having access to that Kai'Sa on their first pick was probably more valuable than the Lucian. And I feel like this is more of a pick to, turn the tables on Ethereal, who did not find success on Lucian in the first game, and just say, hey, this is how you play the champ.
Yeah, Kaisa definitely has the better follow-up ability throughout the whole game, as well as she can one-on-one pretty well for the kit that she has, whereas Lucian, not so much. He really has to have a lot of assistance to try to get some kills, especially since most of the time he's building the attack speed.
Mm-hmm. Either way, I'm looking forward to a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing what Novosis brings to the table, the sub-mid laner here for White Lotus. We've not seen him. I don't think he's played a single game for White Lotus since. He's going to be subbed out in the middle of the series to see how this goes. So see if we can see a little more controlled aggression from Novosis rather than the explosive gameplay we're used to seeing from Fuji in the mid lane, where he's looking for these opportunist kills. And looking to see if Novosis is going to try to maybe draw back the pace of the game a little bit and really just work out for the comp.
Yeah, for sure. And especially going into the Galio. Galio doesn't do a lot of initial damage in the early game, so I think Swain has the big upper hand in that mid lane early game.
And just for letting you guys know, we're sitting on the mix. I believe there's still time to get your vote in. Let's find out. I can find that out for myself. Contest. Hey, never mind. You don't have time to get your bets in. I completely lied to you. So, bets are locked in, and we'll be looking in a second at what those bet percentages look like.
You're like Kaisa's father.
Once the stats team gets that, we'll have it for you. That is going to be a 36% of the bet for White Lotus to a 64% of the bet for NFG. Lots of people looking for them to take this set in a 2-0 and absolutely upset the currently undefeated White Lotus team.
So if you bet White Lotus and they run away with it here in this game and the next game, welcome to some big points, some big bucks, which are nicely redeemable, as a matter of fact. Do you know what you can get with those nice points, Sky?
Ooh, I know, but you're going to tell me anyway.
Oh, just some wonderful mystery skins and other stuff. I think you can get some board skins too. And of course, you have points to bet.
Ooh, yes. Winning points does in fact give you more points to bet points.
Yeah, so that you can get more points to bet even more points to get even more points. And it just goes up from there. But be careful. You might go broke, and I almost went broke. I was the second place as far as points, and then I bet 10,000 twice and lost.
Oof.
So then I wasn't second place anymore, and after that, I got a mystery skin, so now I've only got like 2.8 something points, like K points, so,
Feel it. I'm sitting on, I think, a hot stack of like 12,000 or so, and I'm just kind of resting on them for now. Where I see some breakout games. I'm really looking. This would have been a game that I want to bet for, but I think that NFG really rallied up and built some support for themselves. So they got the lead in the votes, or I might have tried to slide in there and caught the bottom end of the votes. But
I mean,
there's more games.
Most of my points went to Skylancer, and he was pretty much broke, so I'm okay with it. I had a lot of points left over from Season 2 and Season 3, so...
Gotcha. Well, all that being said, we are looking forward to getting into this game, and I believe we have a short commercial break from our sponsor.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
And we are here. Welcome to Games XP Championship. We are at Game 2 of White Lotus versus NFG, and it is currently sitting at 1-0 for NFG, looking to close out match point and take 2-0 and take the first victory over White Lotus.
Yeah, it's interesting to note we're not even a minute into the game, and the gold has tied at 2.5k to each team.
How did these Wizards manage?
I don't know.
Where are they headed? They are headed into the top lane. Are we gonna see something fancy here? Fresh Burger. Gonna flash the Thresh Hook. That
All right.
is a summoner spell down for Fresh Burger right off the bat.
Well, this is going to be a easy early lane for Harbinger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Harbinger really able to, and I mean, Aatrox's early aggression is kind of what he does in that top lane, so he's looking pretty favorable right now to get some stuff done. Didn't bring that ignite for, super early kill pressure, but he should be able to do something. What in the world?
The Kaisa's doing the dance emote like over and over
Yeah,
again.
the guitar sound is insane.
I really like that skin. I have the chroma one for the Kaisa. I always use pink though. I think it looks
really
cool.
fancy. Effects on it feel like they're really good, like a real legendary skin. But gonna see the standard starts from the jungle. Looking for more. We got the root out. Lotus is looking to play your average Swain game.
Yeah,
Finding those auto attacks on the Galio, doing a nice amount of damage to ZZ here. Just as you should to play range versus melee. Yurtow's gonna find the early gank on a Fresh Burger, really abusing him for having that flash down, trying to put as much pressure on this Darius early as he can.
I think this might be a little bit scary in the early game for White Lotus. They're going to have to try to play back a little bit, the exception being Swain in that mid lane.
Man, they are just putting it on Fresh Burger here. He's going to get knocked up and actually taken out. The return gank and Yurtos finds the first blood here. Fresh Burger getting abused up in this top lane.
Yeah, meanwhile, Amumu was taking some nice little camps there. He was right there. He could have come up to help, but decided not to. Decided it wasn't worth.
Yeah, say to watch your top lane get ganked again and again and again, and he didn't even decide to teleport in the lane, but could have teleported back in the lane to die again. He's still level 1, as we see the level 3 of Harbinger now. And now we see Kairos up on level 3 on Yurtos. Gets him with a bandage. Yurtos might have to get something happen. Navosis on the side. Yurtos might be trapped here. Flashes
little
the Eye
bit
of
of
Empire
payback.
and the snare.
Little payback.
Nicely done. I would say I will trade my flash in exchange for a almost guaranteed kill. Or to escape a guaranteed kill, rather.
All Amumu wanted was to be friends with that blue golem there.
Unfortunate. So, it's interesting. We're seeing a little bit of Jace Penguin just kind of relaxing on this Thresh. Not really able to get a lot onto this Kaisa, and we're quickly seeing that the Lucian pick not really getting as much mileage. Freshburger trying to get a combo out of this Darius. Aatrox putting out a lot of damage here.
Yeah, this
base fight is on that champion, but I see him swinging Duran's blade around. He's chunking out tanks like Darius to half health in one skill rotation.
Yeah, that's a one good thing about Aatrox is early game he has a pretty good amount of damage versus a Darius who really is just trying to stack bleeds in the early game.
Yeah, he's really looking for more of the head-on, long drawn-out fight. Well, Aatrox is really just looking to knock him up with his combo and get him out of the fight. And as you see right there, just the individual skill taps is Darius not really able to deal with that, and it's getting rough for him as he finds the heal off of the Q, but
it's not going to be enough to sustain his lane.
yeah. Azizi, on the other hand, gonna find a little bit of harass from this lane, able to stay even in the CS, and it's still looking pretty good in general. As we see the CS lead getting built up for Harbinger in the top lane.
Yeah, that early gank from Camille really helped out, especially with the assist.
Oh, Harbinger not quite finding the trap to keep him in. That would have most likely been the kill for him had he been able to find that. We're just seeing this stymied aggression here. We're just seeing everybody in bot lane keeping it real chill. Which
just doing what they do.
I don't think that's really what Sword wants if he's gonna pick the Lucian, but
there's not much you can do though. I mean, Jays for Peng isn't playing super aggressive with his Thresh, and Ethereal has Tom Kench for support, so it's not like you really want to try to get in there because Kench is just gonna start chomping on you and then spit you out.
yeah, it's not really a fight they're looking for in lane. We're seeing Harbinger moving on the level 6. Uritas is here again, gets Burger into the fight, knocks him up. Uritas here once more, but I think he has to watch out here. He can't go for the... Oh, he's going to pull in Harbinger, who's going to die and pop the passive now, but he's got to watch out. Kairos is there. The hookshot comes through. They're looking for the fight here. Harbinger's very low, gets bandaged up, disappears to the E from Amun, and they might have to get out here. Uritas is only level 4. He's going to get missed out on the Q, but he's going to flash that. Not able to make it happen.
Very close on White Lotus' side. It could have gone very wrong very quickly.
Yeah, very nice. Ended up working out for them. Definitely getting the surprise pull onto Harbinger as he thought he was going to get away. He thought Darius was going to walk away from that. Getting the surprise pull into the tower shot to prop the passive on his ultimate. Really worked a wonder for Kairos to come in and follow up there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Darius is still not 6, which is really his big power spike once he can start dunking on people.
Yeah, I'm looking for a little more of that. I think they were looking for the third auto on Jay maybe, but not going to happen.
Just a lot of microaggression there in that bot lane. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, so he just kind of moves here and there. Nothing really pulling anyone one way or the other.
Novosis is really handling himself well in that mid lane, though.
I'm looking for a little more, particularly from... I mean, see that ZZ is willing to put a lot of aggression into the mid lane, and Freshburger finding these nice combos and showing off physical combos after, 2 or 3 EQ combos on Darius, you've suddenly found Aatrox in kill range from the ult.
Yeah. It looks like they're going to get ready to try to prep this drag.
Harbinger's looking for the fight here. He has bleed stacks on him, but he does a nice job of turning around. Kairos is on the side here. I believe he got spotted up for a ward. Dave Penguin going for the flash play. Goes for the hook misses, but they're going to bring in Uritas here. Finds the Camille ultimate that gets Daydream. He's not able to make the flash out of there. Snaps back into the wall. They even brought the Galio for the assist, and they take the full kill down on a Daydreams as they look for the dragon now.
Not the most ideal play, especially considering bot lane had the vision in the river to actually see Galio come down. I don't think there was a ping from Noveus saying, hey guys, Galio's gone. So I think that was just more or less miscommunication and not really paying attention and reading the map.
We're seeing the seeing definitely a nice place coming out from NFG side. And they're putting themselves ahead. They've got a small lead in gold here. Of course, they're not. They're also ahead in CS. Really, aside from keeping even in the bot lane, they're pulling a decent lead ahead in both the solo lanes here. So it's looking like a much different picture from the White Lotus games that we've been seeing.
Yeah, I mean, once people start to like group together, I think that's where White Lotus is really gonna shine the most.
Oh, we see on the side, we see the Tom Kenches there. That's a 3-man on top of ZZ. He's looking for a place to go. Finds the taunt, finds the flash. I think he's gonna go down here. Daydream's gonna find the tongue to take him out. Lotus finding a good return kill. Aatrox trying to look for something under Freshburger here. Gonna lock him in the cage, but he's got tower aggro. He dives in. Gonna find 2 tower shots there, not quite what he wants.
For the most part, I think Freshburger is playing this fairly well. Playing close to the tower like this, trying to get Aatrox to take a little bit of that tower damage so that he can just finally blow out and execute him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's definitely working out for him to try to make sure he's making very careful, calculated trades. Just pulling out the EQ combo. He's gonna go for the E, finds the Q there. He's able to keep himself decently sustained, so he's not too worried about the Aatrox all-inning him, or at least threatening him on the return of the all-in to really take him out with that, execution combo.
Yeah, it's just
looking
that
for something here. Finds look, but Kairos is there. They're actually gonna get turned on the Amumu ultimate comes down on Jason Pengu. He tries to play him away. He tries to get enough speed from Moby. Ethereal's in there. Jay might make the turnaround. Sword is trying to get onto Ethereal, finds the flash. Ethereal's gonna get eaten up by the Tom Kench.
beautiful play in that bot lane.
Absolutely well done. And James Penguin getting baited in by the appearance of Kairos there. That is a clean 2 pickup for the side of White Lotus.
Potentially first tower from White Lotus? No, that tower has a lot of health.
Yeah.
I didn't see the health bar, so I'm like, that could be it.
Yeah, they're just trying to kind of shove in that wave and...
However, White Lotus does have the gold lead, only by about 0.5k. Not huge.
Yeah, I would say with CS sitting roughly even in every non-mid lane, it's definitely just the weight of the kills at this point. And seeing Kairos really making moves on this Amumu, he's sitting at 100% kill participation right now, so he's definitely making his presence known around the board.
Yeah, for sure. And you really got to look out for that Amumu too, because when he's there, I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're done. You're out.
Yeah, I would say especially it's important to note that, and I talk about this a lot because I'm really a big fan of Amumu, especially after his recent round of buffs. They added additional scaling to. We're gonna see the Tom Kench come in on sword. I don't think they're gonna find anything there, but they added additional scaling to his E, the passive on his E that reduces physical damage taken. That amount increases by the amount of armor you build, and they're gonna jump on Freshburger here, who does not even get enough time to respond to the pull, and he's gonna go down in this top lane.
Unlucky.
But yeah, it's very nice to pick a Mumu into sort of these triple AD comps. You have the Camille, the Aatrox, and the Lucian, who all are dealing physical damage here. And a Mumu for, I believe it's every 20% of armor that he has, gains flat reduction from physical damage on his E passive. So he just becomes that much tankier against physical damage teams. He goes for the flash ultimate as we see the teleport come in from Freshburger. Looking for a little more. The pull does not go out as 2 flashes come in from the side. They lock him into the cage. They're going to manage their way out of there. And we're just seeing this back and forth aggression. The hook doesn't quite find.
A lot of close calls in this top lane.
Yeah, they're really looking to try to put some early pressure in one direction or the other to really try to take one of these first towers. They really want first tower gold on their side.
Looks like they might potentially collapse on the Galio here in the mid lane.
Ooh, here it comes. ZZ's gonna find the nice angle to get himself a Justice Punch out of there. Jason Penguin has to watch out. This is rough. He's gonna get eaten up by Daydreams. That is a lot of damage coming out of the Kaisa, but there's the Galio ultimate. Yuritas is also there. Jason Penguin's gonna walk out, but Ethereal's gonna find the kill on Jason Penguin. They're trying to find the Taunt and Daydreams. They don't quite find it. The Q's gonna come in. Hookshot's not gonna come in. Yuritas not quite going the way he wanted to. And they're gonna end up making that a 1-for-1, but that's 80k for support here.
Yeah, I mean, not the best exchange, but you take what you can get in something like that.
Yeah, we're seeing a little more from Harbinger in this mid lane, putting a lot of damage on that Swain, but regardless, they're looking to go a little bit forward, and Gold is sitting dead even right now, it's worth noting. Frischberger trying to put a nice amount of damage on this top lane tower, but Harbinger's gonna be there for him. Doesn't quite lock him up in the cage. Banda's gonna come in, not quite gonna find what he's looking for. Jason Penguin gonna need to take a little bit of damage from Ethereal here.
A lot of pokey.
Yeah.
I need some more death and destruction.
Right, I need more killing. It's 15 and a half minutes and we got 9 deaths on the board. That is just not cool.
This is almost an LCS game at this point. I need some monkey shenanigans.
Ooh, we're looking for a little more here. Tom Kentel's been going to do that's our sword. Gonna run down an Ethereal here. If he can find one more dash, finds the double tap, takes the solo kill. Sword making his mark. And ZZ's gonna find the Taunt and Daydreams, but Sword's gonna get exhausted here. He has to watch out for Kairos. Kairos gets a move, Arrow Sword Pointy guy is gonna get caught by the Amumu ultimate on the side here. And it's enough for him to go down.
Gotta love pointy guy.
And they're looking for a little more on Devosis. Tries to find the hook shot. Ooh, he gets the stopwatch, but the Galioton also runs out, but they do enough damage to find through. The tower's going to get redirected over to ZZ, so he's going to find the kill there. And no one's going to go down on the side of NFG. Everyone trying super hard to get this first blood on this tower, but it's not going to go down easily.
Yeah, and Gold's still really close. They're just everybody's looking for that slight advantage.
Yeah, if anything would really help. We're seeing that the Gold is, tilting very slightly in the favor of NFG, tilted really slightly in the favor of White Lotus right now. But anything could really happen to, push it in one favor or the other. We see White Lotus, definitely know them as the team fighting team, the team with heavy macro. So if we're looking for a play for them somewhere around the map to really break through the core of NFG and get to the center of these fights.
Yeah, really, I mean, you don't have to be the strongest in the laning phase. As long as you can group together, you can recover pretty much almost any type of game. So if they can just make it through this laning phase and get that first tower.
Yeah, it's very important to always remember that League is indeed a 5v5 game. So even if your one is not doing it together, when you come together as 5, if you're able to send in your resume and contribute to the rest of the team, then you get yourself a spot. And we see Ethereal sort of getting in a little fight here. Ethereal's going to get ignited up. Jason Penguin's going to go for the flay. But the hook's going to come down, and at the same time, we're going to see the pull coming on too. Yurta's going to go for the Camille ultimate onto Freshburger, and we're looking for a little more in the spot lane. As Sword slides in on Daydream, Daydream's going to eat him up. But at the same time, the hook's going to come through, and it's not enough damage. Thresh's going to find the kill on the Tom Catch. At the same time, top lane, more kills are going to come out. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a double kill coming in for Jace Pengu on the Thresh as the 80 carry goes down on the side. And that is going to be a 2-for-1 on the side of NFG. And I think they may look for Yurta's going to go for another hook shot, and Freshburger going to disappear here. And I think that the first Tower Blood might go over to NFG here. That's what they're looking for. They have 2 in that top lane. They're definitely going to split it up. Very nice.
Yeah, just proving that you can really abuse that top lane with the Aatrox Camille combo. There's not much you can do with the amount of mobility and CC that those two have.
It's easy. Ooh, he's gonna find the taunt. Yuritas is there. Doesn't even need the hookshot stun. Novos is gonna go down next. They're looking for more. They're looking for Ethereal. Yuritas smash. Might find a hookshot to catch Ethereal, but the Galio ultimate comes through and actually stops. A hookshot stopping the bandage from Kairos. Not able to bring the Amumu ult. He didn't have it. Was on cooldown anyway, but he got denied the ability to even enter that fight off the bandage toss. That was absolutely well played on the side of NFG, and they are coming into form right now.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that interaction. That was a pretty interesting thing to see.
Neither have I, actually.
I'm not sure if that was a glitch or if that's an intended thing.
That's a remake. All good. Start over. Just all the way from the start. Can't have that happening.
I mean, we're only at a 3.3k gold difference.
And we're seeing a little more of this. And I mean, NFG is definitely playing their game here. And it's really nice to see it. They're looking to get on the ZZ now. They have that 3-man. He finds the 3-man taunt. Just sponges his way out of there. ZZ is going to get flash eaten by Daydreams, but ZZ is going to get back into this fight. They're looking for a little more. This is not the fight they want. They're going to find the kill in the Galio. Aatrox is going to rest here. Yuritas on the side trying to deal with the Kaisa. Not able to get the kill, though. And everybody on the side of NFG is going to disappear. And this is a White Lotus performance. They find the kills. They take a 4-for-0 on their side.
Yeah, that was an excellent fight on their part.
Yeah, Daydreams did an incredible job of singling out Galio in that fight. Really making sure he got him eaten up, got him spit out, so he wasn't really able to contribute and get those AoE taunts down.
Trying to get this early Baron here before everybody back up.
That will absolutely happen.
Now they have the pressure on all fronts to really just push towers.
Yeah, this is not what NFG wanted to happen, and now with power of Baron buff on the hands of White Lotus, they can really put that to good use and send themselves back out to these lanes with a little bit of renewed strength, a lot more money in their pockets, and able to sort of match up to NFG blow for blow. But they're going to look for the dragon here. And I think they definitely got the damage to burn it down, so not, a bad idea by any means.
Yeah, it's definitely a great idea to get that on NFG. Just deny that Tom Kench the Ocean Drakes. I mean...
We see the stun come through. We're looking for more, and Novos is going to disappear under the thresh hook into the Camille hookshot. That is way too much damage for him to deal with. Way too much CC. He goes down. At the same time, we're going to see some Baron ups come in from the side of White Lotus as they push down the tower. They're really going mid, and Kaisa is doing a terrifying amount of damage to these towers. And CZ's got to do something and shows up a little too late. But here comes Aatrox. Kaisa actually going to get himself out of there, but we're going to see the Galio doesn't come through, but the Amumu is going to shake everything up. They're trying to get through. Fresh Burger's trying to push through, and that is a 1 and a 2. And Fresh Burger finds the kills off of his ultimate, and they are just going to keep pushing into the base here. This is not what...
Yeah, they've got 4 men, 3 of which are pretty heavy tanks, and now that Swain is here, granted he doesn't have the Baron buff, they can pretty much walk it wherever they want to walk.
Yeah, this is a White Lotus performance that is really proving to their strength. They're capitalizing in fights, getting their focus on their macro just down perfectly, and immediately converting those into objectives to pull themselves ahead. The team we previously saw 3k gold down, with no towers and no Baron, finds the Baron power play and absolutely runs with it, terrorizing through the base of NFG.
Yeah, now that they've cracked that open, it's going to leave a lot more room to play in these side lanes if they ever decide they need a split push.
regardless, we're looking for a little more from the side now. They're looking to utilize the rest of that Baron buff. It's ticking down fairly rapidly. We're looking what they can make from it. And the problem with this composition now is I feel like Jason Penguin is losing the agency to really just throw out a hook. Because I feel like unless you're going to definitively land it onto the Kaisa, which absolutely shouldn't be happening if White Lotus is positioning whatsoever. But if they're not able to find the thrush hook onto somebody valuable like the Kaisa, then the pick itself is really going to start to depreciate in value over time, as well as we're watching that Lucian, who's, has his time on the relevance clock, which most would say is around the 25-30 minute mark is when he starts, fading away from the sands of time. But we're going to see the culling come in regardless. Thrush hook's not going to land here.
The amount of protection that Kaisa has, we just watched Freshburger and Daydreams both post up right next to him.
Ooh, they're looking for more. Yurtow's going to go for the ultimate here on Novosis. Novosis is going to pop the Hourglass to get himself safe. I don't know if he's only decidedly safe or absolutely safe, but it's enough to get him out of that fight alive. As you just kind of see the bot lane dance here. The Baron buff has worn out. At the same time, we're still going to see Yuritas going down in this top lane. He's an absolute monster. I might actually take out Novosis here. Misses a tactical sweep, though. And that's going to be enough. Kairos finds the Mumu ultimate. They're immediately going to hit the go button after that. The Galleon's going to knock up too. But I don't think it's enough. As Kairos goes for the stopwatch, he gets removed from the fight. And we're going to see the axe come down. And White Lotus might actually make a break for the rest of this game. And they're looking for a little more. They're going to go through. The Darius pool's going to come in. Harbinger's going to try to jump in. He's going to get chopped up by the Darius. Ultimate kill's not going to go through, so he does not get the skill reset. But Jason Penguin's going to go down next, and I think it's just Sword Against the World here. And that's going to be really hard because I don't think... Oh, he finds the kill onto Ethereal. Sends a last message as they most likely are going to lose this game. But on the Lucian definitely sends the definitive message that, hey, you do not control this bot lane. I will show you what a bot lane looks for. What a bot lane looks like, rather. Freshburger on the side. We see Kairos and Daydreams.
I don't think they have the damage to... Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I want to see more gameplay like that at the beginning of the game.
I agree.
Ethereal walking away with 12,176 gold in that game.
Yeah, they definitely worked out in their favor. Coming out, and we see the numbers here, and a lot of damage really just around the board. I mean, you saw the Kaisa pulling through on 18k, but I mean, no one really far behind. Camille, Galio, and Aatrox all bringing around 16,000, 17,000. But that definitely worked out in their favor and really find the draft they're looking for on the side of White Lotus. And I believe we'll be getting in the lobby for Game 3, but I believe we're going to take a short break before then. Ooh, we are back. Games XP Championship. We are at Game 3 of White Lotus and NFG. No F's given. They're sitting at 1-1 apiece, of course. Looking to get into the pro draft for Game 3. And want to see a couple more adjustments come out from both teams right now as we go forward.
Who takes it?
Oof. Don't hit me with that. That's hard hitting. Because we saw NFG and how they pulled through, and we saw White Lotus come back and remind NFG that they are able to play their game under any conditions. So it's
literally anybody's game.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it is. But if I had to give it to somebody, I think that I want to say that NFG is carrying the potential right now to run with a set.
I want to say that White Lotus is going to take it.
That's fair. I would say. I mean, most.
It's really divided, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
say, there's a good case to be made for both teams, and I mean, the game 1 to the game 2 just showed the dichotomy of the conditions for an NFG win that we saw in game 1, and then the conditions for a White Lotus win in game 2. So it's really just a matter of who gets to put their plan into motion, who gets to get their game popping off, and if we see the adjustments to be made in pick ban phase, then I think that NFG has brought the, and it's weird to say that NFG has brought the stronger team than the currently, lossless team of White Lotus, but I think from their showing in game 1, and you can definitely tell that they put together a composition that really facilitated the ability for Arrow to run away with the game, as well as, showing off those multiple damage threats and saying you don't get to walk past us to get team fights. If they bring out more of those, and we bring out another, similar AD carry for air or sword to get things rolling, it should be a very interesting game. And
yeah, I kind of want to see what point he can do without playing Lucian.
right. If I see Lucian again, I'm going to be very sad. So we're going to see the draft come through, and with literally zero hesitation, as they switch their bans to. I'm sorry. The bans for the side of NFG are going to be Anivia, Tom Kench, and Braum. And they're going to take the Sejuani on the first pick, which is interesting. And White Lotus is going to respond with the Amumu take. Huh. Sejuani.
Who wins? One icy chick or one sad man?
I would say, well, I think the problem here is I think White Lotus might go for the Morgana support here, which would be a very good pickup against the Sejuani. Sejuani just recently took a pair of
Well, they blew that out of the water. And the Urgot Irelia picked up for NFG.
Ooh, that is a strong composition. Seeing the Urgot, of course, a very, very, very heavily picked top laner. Very, very works well against the current top lane meta. Has the ability to really shut down a lot of those picks that people are looking forward to. But
and we've seen Harbinger be very good on Urgot before.
Yeah, Harbinger has definitely had great performances on Urgot, but at the same time, we've seen time and time again, Urgots in this league get shut down by aggression coming from the Scion. So I believe if we're not going to see it banned out this game, I believe we may end up seeing a Scion come from Freshburger to answer that Urgot in the top lane.
Coming in like a freight train.
We're going to see the Ashe come in on the ban. And I think if White Lotus is really looking to think here, then I think the smart move here would be banning the Tristana. I don't think they want to let that run rampant for the NFG comp again and force them onto a different scaling AD carry. And of course, NFG doesn't have second rotation bans here, as they'll be using an emergency substitute. Yeah, they're gonna take away the Tristana. So, what am I thinking now for 80 carries? If
I mean, they're pretty much forcing Pointy to play Lucian.
I mean, that's definitely what they've pushed him towards. But I mean, there are other champions. I think if they want to get wild,
You had Jinx.
You have Jinx.
You've got Caitlyn.
What else is there? Really, I can't think of any carries right now. There's Xayah.
Yeah.
Now I will say, if you notice something, Xayah Rakan is available for this side, and I don't know how much of a Xayah. I don't actually know how much of a Xayah player Arrow is. Sword Pointy, but
I mean, we've only really seen him play Varus.
Right.
So could they be baiting him into the Varus pick?
I would say I've seen him on several champions. I mean, throughout this series, I've seen him on Varus. I mean, throughout this league, I've seen him on Varus. He's played a lot of Twitch. Twitch is another chip.
There you go. There's Twitch.
Twitch is definitely something that if you give a mouse a front line, he can really run with it. And Rand's gonna come in.
That is a nasty bot lane.
Ooh. Jay is really looking to make a statement here. Into the face of the Thresh. Going for Brand is
it's bold.
It's bold. Definitely, I would definitely say that is a bold move to me.
That is a bold move, Cotton.
But we are going to see what they round out this mid lane with. They're going to take the Orianna.
Not a bad pick.
Oh, just kidding.
Azir.
They're going to take the Azir. Now that is a... Whew.
Well, White Lotus does not want me to fall asleep this game, I feel.
Yeah, this is Azir is very interesting. Seeing Azir adds a lot of, I don't know, it adds an interesting layer to the game. Azir really is a interesting mid laner. He's got burst damage available to him, and he's also got an incredible amount of DPS in his kit. The longer he's able to, he's really a mage AD carry for all intent and purposes. I will say it's very interesting to watch him. You know, the way he enters a team fight and commits to it. He kind of is I don't know, not really a reverse Tristana, but definitely watching Azir command the central of a team fight will be very difficult for NFG to get, because you have the Scion and Mumu Thresh front line on the side of White Lotus, and you have the Urgot Aurelia Sejuani front line, who all do an unignorable amount of damage, honestly. And as well as Bran, you know, creating chaos in these team fights between his ultimates and his W's. Arrow really has a good field of play to, you know, get these spray and praise off, get the rat-tat-tats, getting them through the back line of White Lotus and really able to make his mark here. This is really going to be Arrow's, you know, Arrow's swan song here to prove himself on this Switch.
I like that you made a pun. It makes me smile on the inside.
Did I? I didn't realize I did, so that's fine.
You see the pun?
No.
You see the pun you made?
No.
Because he's a rat. He goes rat tat tat tat.
That's the name of his ultimate.
See, it's even punnier.
No. It is what it is.
Just, you know what? You know what, Skyson?
Yeah. I do know what.
You just roll with it, man. I got
nothing for you.
I know.
I'm giving you no leeway here on these punts. You do not get them from with me. That is just not happening. But what is going to happen is ASAP ZZ back on the Aurelia pick that he saw, and that is not the aggressive Akali from Fuji. This is now going to be the very calculated Azir pick from Novosis. And
I really want you to respect.
Everybody in the chat, make sure you shed a tear for our beloved broadcaster dad Nick, as he has to watch Ashe get banned in one of these games, and it hurts him as much as it hurts me. So, you know, pour one out in the chat, drop your Fs, and
Amumu's already crying.
Right. We can all move on from here.
So, that Scion. You ready to see that Scion?
Yeah, I will take that back. I remember when it was changed to Rat-a-tat-tat, and I was like, that is the worst change I've ever seen for a name. I did not realize, because I do not play Twitch, I did not realize they changed it back at any point. So I will apologize on that. Good on that. I can go back to calling it Spray and Pray, as it should be.
Nah, rat-a-tat-tat.
That's not happening for me. Now you're just wrong if you say it, and wrong, and the pun will not help you there.
The pun needs to stay alive.
Not in my house.
You
And
just hate me.
if you're gonna embody puns, then you are just the one I have to hate, because that doesn't fly with me.
I mean, for a while, my name was the Prodigal Punter.
That is the worst. That is a man that I could hate. But
I mean, just wait until I start telling dad jokes.
those are fine. I'm okay with dad jokes. The dad jokes are sometimes they're also dry humor, but they're entertaining. Puns are. But
Hey,
we're getting back into this game, and I want to see. What do I want to see? I don't want to see any more from this top lane. I've seen Urgot Scion throw their buttons at each other. Urgot spends 1 billion mana. Scion doesn't die. Maybe we'll see something from Uritas on the Sejuani. After seeing it on the ban list of NFG twice, it's going to get first picked here for Uritas, and he's going to bring it to Kairos and say, hey, this is what we end up doing with our Sedge. But it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to... I think that the make or break for this is going to be Daydream's Thresh. Because if he's able to find the hooks... Because, Twitch brand puts out a lot of damage, but if you catch one of them off of a Thresh hook, then it's rough. And it's definitely going to work against... And if you find off that into the Kaisa damage and even off of an Amumu gank, then it's going to put NFG in a very deep hole. So that's really rough for them. But I think if they're able to play it well, if Jason Penguin is able to show off on the brand the type of aggression he's able to put into the Alistar and Thresh and get a lot of damage off in this bot lane to really make his mark, then it'll be interesting. And I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what NFG wants to bring. NFG, of course, wants to take down White Lotus, hand them their first loss of the series, show that the revamped roster of NFG is up and on a tear, and White Lotus, of course, is looking to keep defending their kingdom and show that they are not... show that game one was just a fluke, show that they've learned from their mistakes and given the proper respect, drafted the way they wanted to, and they are going to get it going here. So now that we've seen the draft, what do you think is going to happen here, Jimmy?
Well, I think Azir is honestly going to be kind of the one to watch into the Irelia. I just think that with the amount of DPS and kind of crowd control-ish stuff he has versus the Irelia, I think he's going to come out on top.
Interesting. I'm looking at both drafts, and I don't want to make a call early because, like I said, this bot lane, if I find Daydreams just throwing hooks, catching bodies, then it's going to spell curtains for NFG. But
I would agree with that assumption as well. The brand Twitch, they have the damage. The only problem, they're super squishy. You don't have that kind of frontline defending tank that you normally would, which we've seen Jays for Penguin been playing this whole series.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was going to say, it'll be interesting. I don't believe I've seen Daydreams on Thresh at any point, so seeing him go for that, of course, is very interesting. And Kairos is very comfortable on Amumu. Freshburger enjoys his Scion pick, and Ethereal has shown proficiency on basically every AD carry, so it's interesting. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to watching this bot lane. I am an unironic support main, and I will watch bot lanes fight all day because it is what I enjoy. But that being said, we will be turning this over to a commercial break before we get into game 3.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
Given they are looking to give it their all, close out the set. We are going to have a winner at the end of this game.
Ooh, potential fight in the bot lane as the pings are going out like crazy.
Baby. I want to see something. People are moving. People are looking. Everybody's hiding up. Everybody's holding up in the NFG. This could be interesting. They're hanging out. Oh, man. What are they looking for?
The face check.
They're coming around.
Oh,
There's 5 here.
no.
Daydreaming. Gonna get found out that everything's coming. I can't even tell you what was going through Daydreams on the other end. The flash is coming through so much damage. Kairos on the side. Kairos trying to walk away into some Moo ASAP. Finds the kill. And Urgot's gonna take the kill there.
Bad news, Bears.
That is not how you want to start your game 3 with a kill on Urgot and down on your jungler and a little bit of money in everybody's pockets on the side of NFG.
3.1k to 2.5 at a minute 25.
Yeah. Whew. I like it. I definitely like the action that went on there. And I was really trying to figure out who I wanted to focus on. I was trying to keep it on Thresh at the start, but then Thresh decided to flash out and ended up leaving, so I went to the next best thing. Jazer Penguin misses the W down in Ethereal. Ethereal's gonna have to flash over the wall as Twitch comes out of stealth there. So we're gonna see some early
These guys are
summons
throwing
burned out.
punches early.
Oh yeah. NFG is showing White Lotus they were able to bring the fight here. Just seeing a little more of that we're looking for. Jason Penguin making sure he can find something back on this Thresh. Brand trying to find these W's out, and the hook lever 1 for Daydream is a really interesting choice. Doing what he can to fight back. ASAP ZZ's trying to slide in there, get something on Devosis, and Azir very good at bullying back those melees while in the middle of farming, and ZZ not doing an excellent job of splitting himself up between himself and the minions to force Azir to really make a decision there. Really able to poke him out and clean up some minions at the same time, which becomes that much harder when you're a melee champion.
Scion proving he really doesn't care that Urgot got that first blood either. He's playing pretty aggressively.
Yeah, we're just seeing the standard. I mean, he's losing out a little bit in farm, but it's working out for him, and he's still going to make those typical Scion trades. James Penguin not quite landing these W's, but they have a level 2 advantage right now, threatening them away from the level. Ooh, Daydreams finds the hook on his sword. He's going to get flayed in there. And amazingly, no auto attacks came through on him beforehand, or he would have had to deal with the poison tick strong tower aggro, but Thankfully not the case as they get out of there. Harbinger just trying to find a little bit of damage down to Freshberger. Doing a nice job of harassing him down. Harbinger always doing consistent work on this Urgot pick.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see Freshberger taking all that damage. I figured he'd have his shield by now.
ASAP's easy. Putting a lot of damage on Novosis, but Novosis not really needing to give up any farm for it. Stun's gonna miss there for the follow-up. Harbinger. Freshberger. Finds the silent Q, gets flipped around. He's gotta be careful here. Harbinger's doing a lot of damage off of this. If he can find maybe a flash Q, this could turn out pretty ugly.
Yeah, Freshberger not having any kind of defense, coming into the lane with just corrupting potions. I mean, it makes sense, but when Urgot's up a kill and already has he's got a Dorrance and then the longsword, that makes it a little bit hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely having the advantage of both the aggressive tools along with the double AD coming from those items definitely gives them a huge advantage in this lane right now. Wallstein doesn't have any defensive items built, but you can see it in the CS lead that Harbinger's starting to build up over Freshberger here. So we're starting to see it move very nicely in the direction of NFG, and you even can see Sword is building up a nice CS lead over Ethereal right now, which is definitely working in their favor. That's definitely something you want to see on your Twitch, to see that he's not falling behind early so he can transition well into the mid.
Yeah, and if they let this continue into the mid or late game, Jays for Penguin probably going to be pretty devastating just as much as the Twitch, so you don't really want to see that kind of spiral out of control in the bot lane.
Yeah, they're really trying to come through here. Another stealth coming out on Twitch. Trying to maybe put some poke damage on Daydreams. Daydreams doesn't find the hook. Twitch finds a couple auto attacks back onto Ethereal. Nice little trade up there. We're just seeing a little bit more. You saw both AD carries grab that early call. So they're just looking to farm up, and money's going to be really relevant on both of these carries, but Twitch will always remain scary through most of the game.
Yeah, only about an 800 gold difference thus far in the game. Was still relatively close.
We see him stealth there.
A lot of jumping back and forth to
Yeah, I
watch
was gonna say,
yes.
they keep wanting to show us different lanes, and I'm like, no one's doing anything. I'm not too worried about it.
Hey, why'd the toilet paper cross the road?
Show me more of this top lane. I want to see Sign and Urgot hit each other all over the place. Daydream's trying to look up for a hook. I just thought he found the hook on Sword there, but the camera panned away and told me that he did not find the hook there. Seeing a level advantage on ASAP. He's really trying to get some aggression down on Novosis in this mid lane. Ooh, Novosis! Gonna push him back with the ultimate. Finds the Irelia ultimate, can't dash through it. Actually gets out without getting too much past the mark, but the Sejuani's gonna come down. Daydreams has a flash there, but he's gonna escape out of the Sejuani ultimate, and they get out of there.
Beautiful defensive plays by White Lotus right now.
Definitely working on their favor. See more in the top lane, more Sion yelling at minions loudly. Getting a little bit more here. It's more damage from this Urgot. He's got the Phage finished up now as he gets the Rage passive.
The toilet paper didn't cross the road. It got stuck in the crack.
Looking for a
This
little
guy's
more.
then just ignoring me.
Going for more. Harbinger trying to find anything he can. This got not quite finding the flip there. He still gets a lot of damage off of W. As he shields up the... Ooh, he might have the damage here. Oh, Fresh Burger flashing the ultimate. Very nicely done. So we're just kind of watching that aggression get stymied back. Sword is still stealth here in this bot lane. Not working out here, but we're seeing Jace or Penguins finally finding a couple of these Grand W's to come down. Oh, Mumu's here. Harbinger's got to watch out. The bandage doesn't come in, but the knockup comes to the side. No, doesn't really have anything, but Uritas is here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He flashes away. I think Uritas is going to be able to survive here just as well. But no, he's going to get back out. Kairo's still looking. But Aurelia's hanging on the side. Doesn't quite find the bandage toss. They keep looking.
Just some little cheeky plays. That's really all we've seen thus far.
Back and forth, you know, microaggressions at best, really. We're still at 10 minutes now with 1 kill on the board. This is definitely a much safer game coming out from both teams. Not looking to, I mean, other than the early jungle invade. If it had not been for the early jungle invade, this would still be a 0-0 game. We are still going through here. Daydream's still finding a little bit more on the Thresh. Of course, we don't quite have the Mobies finished onto Thresh here. So he's just sitting on that T1. His Sword's going to stealth back into the lane. Finds the cheeky little Cutlass auto attack onto Ethereal.
I can respect it.
I like it. It's all about sending a message, really.
Yeah.
Sword is definitely looking to show Ethereal that he is the superior AD carry. And while Ethereal is just sitting on the superior team right now. But with this win, they would definitely, you know, get into proving both. Or at least making a very strong case for both. The strength of the team and the strength of him as an AD carry.
Twitch doesn't like me anymore either, by the way. I don't know if it was my joke or my bad puns, but, you know.
Certainly.
I really just want their respect.
We're going to look for a little bit more as we see. Hook's going to come out, not going to find its target. Sword is going to look for something. Nice little Grand W coming out. Lotus is doing what he can to put some harass on Azizi, but of course Aurelia has that inherent sustain that really is able to keep her healthy in the lane. And I really want to see what comes out of this. And Harbinger just kind of poking down minions.
You know, if they could just get a little bit of a leg up, it would be you know, just either team.
That hook. Sword's coming in on the side, looking for Ethereal on the back here. Flashes, goes for the spray pray. Doesn't quite find the 2 autos actually needs. Turning around on Daydreams now. Kairos is coming around.
Gotta watch out for that rat-a-tat-tat.
It's coming through. And is going to get hooked after the Amumu finds the ultimate. He heals up, not able to turn around in time. And Jay's going to go down as well. And Daydreams goes down to the brand passive. So they at least find 1 return kill, but both of them are going to go down.
Yeah, but now you have Kai'Sa sitting on the kill versus Twitch, who doesn't have one.
Ooh, the ultimate coming out from Uritas goes for the full Sejuani combo, and Ethereal disappears before he can even respond. Uritas smashing through. Just as prescribed.
Yeah, it's still too close of a game. I don't think we're gonna see anything super aggressive yet. I think it's gonna be another wait out until they get that first tower.
Yeah, I would say if I see another triple lane dance for First Blood Tower, this is going to be something else. Not a lot of damage really put out on any tower in either lane. Just a lot of very consistent back and forth.
Yeah, especially with the Cloud Drake being up, the only other objective would be...
Harbinger goes for the flash. Raleigh misses the stun, but lands the knockup. The Cyan Man's a 2-man knockup off his ultimate. Lots of tower damage coming through. They've really got to be careful. The Urgot ultimate was down onto Freshburger, but he did not fall into the threshold for the execute. Doing a very nice job of surviving there. Ooh, Daydream's gonna throw the lantern, brings in Kairos with the flash! Kairos trying to get in there, doesn't have the ultimate available, but Sword is still gonna go down. That is not enough for them. Very nicely done. White Lotus definitely working on bringing themselves back into this. And getting it on Ethereal is really the good place to start. Ooh, Daydreams looks at the hook, doesn't quite find on Jay's Penguin. Tries to get people away, doesn't really have enough damage on the W.
This is definitely the
Jay's Penguin really risky here. He's actually gonna get out of there. He does land the bandage.
Karios didn't even have ultimate anyway, so it wouldn't really be worth.
Hook not gonna make it on Jay here. But here comes ZZ. Oh, he's gonna go out from the Thresh Lantern. Kairos hanging around the back line. Sword's return. Flips over his column 5.
Not too much as far as wardage on the map. I mean, there's a little bit in some enemy jungle in the top lane. I'm just kind of watching out for that Amumu, just because the Scion is a really strong pick into the Urgot. But as far as White Lotus, there isn't too much ward coverage really at all. I think there's only 2, maybe 3 wards on the whole map for them.
Yeah, they're definitely setting up their vision, focusing a lot of it towards that top lane as they try to maybe push themselves in a good position to get something going here. As we look around, seeing a little bit more of this action, of course, we come back to our glorious top lane, Scion pushing out minion waves and Harbinger just existing on Urgot. It's a really glorious thing to behold. Kairo's going to look for the bandage here, but ZZ's on the side. Navos is on the side as well. They're looking for more. The Aurelia's going to find 2. The Amumu ultimate comes to Aurelia, not able to move, and Zer's fighting. Oh, not quite finding the Emperor's Divide, but ZZ's going to get pulled back. The next shot misses, but Scion ultimate is going to come in, knock them through, and they're going to get a knock up here, and that's going to be a 2-for-0 as Ethereal comes in on the side. And Ethereal's going to keep looking here, finds the ultimate after the Q. Going to get popped back by the Sejuani, going to find the knock-up to get him out of there, but I think Ethereal's going to find the kill here and takes the kill down on to Eurota Smash. And that is a 4-1. And at the same time, we are going to see Twitch pop that ultimate in the bot lane to try to get down, clear this minion line and try to get some damage on this tower. It takes the tower for first blood gold.
That's still a really big play, though. That leaves White Lotus to be able to get that Rift Herald and either push the mid or the top lane.
Yeah, giving them Rift Herald and also giving the mid lane tower as he makes the catch here is not what they wanted. They're going to drop the Rift Herald in the mid lane.
Questionable.
Yeah, they have people there to answer it. I think they might get. They'll get the initial ram head into it, but nothing really past that.
I probably would have dropped it top, seeing as there was nobody up there. But
yeah, I mean, they just picked it up. They really wanted to hold that for a better time. But at least it did get its headbutt off into the mid lane, so they're not too crazy for wanting it.
Looking at the gold, we still only have it's only like 0.3k difference, so about 300 gold is the difference right now.
Yeah, we see White Lotus trying to rotate around, NFG trying to rotate away, trying to get to this dragon, saying they have the ability to control a team fight at this point. But I think that if they bring all of their tools, then they're gonna take the dragon anyway. So they put a Cloud Drake in their pocket, so they have a little bit of extra movement speed for this game.
Yeah, I don't think White Lotus was too worried about the Wind Drake.
Look to siege down this top lane tower. Threshock's gonna part the waves, not finding anything he's looking for.
Kaisa is about ready to finish her call. She only has 9 stacks left that she actually has to get on it. and then she's gonna get a little jump in gold, and she's already at 4 kills versus Twitch's nothing. So I feel like Kai'Sa is really just gonna spiral out of control, and this Twitch is kind of gonna be kind of left out to dry.
Yeah, NFG is really looking for a team fight that they're able to facilitate this Twitch and really get him a solid spray and pray to get something through here. And of course, after turning over the call, he'll be another half item into the Nashor's Tooth to get that second item spike at Kai'Sa. And really just every item that Kai'Sa picks up is really giving giving her that much power in these team fights. And we just get to watch a little more of this. The Urgot and Scion show.
It's such a wet noodle fight at this point. Saya's got too much armor, and Urgot has a black cleaver.
Yeah, he's chopping him with the cleaver. It's doing a sizable amount of damage, but the problem is on top of Scion's passive giving him free HP for killing units, it's really just adding up to Freshburger not caring about Harbinger's damage.
Yeah, not to mention that little shield he gets.
Kairos here. Gonna take out these wards here on the side.
Freshburger, Ward Slayer. Watch out.
What a beast. Ooh, here comes the Scion ultimate into Aurelia, but there's the E-stun. Ethereal's gonna slide on the side, and ASAP Z is gonna disappear here, but the Brand ultimate gonna come through. Finds Ethereal, he actually disappears from this fight. Here comes Switch! Suppress gonna come in through the Urgot. They're looking for a little more. The Sword's gonna try to come through. Freshburg gonna find the flash over the wall, and that is a fight that NFG is looking for. They kind of throw as easy to the Wolves here, but that is still the fight that came through. Ethereal disappearing to that Brand ultimate. Jason Penguin finding a very nice catch here.
You've got Azir in the bot lane actually pushing the tower, giving a little split push right now.
Huh. So he was, but the turnaround there, and the Scion is gonna do enough damage to get him away from trying to get on top of there. They're gonna take that tower, as they have to watch out for the Azir split push. He's gonna get the tier 2 tower in the bot lane.
I mean, not the worst play that could happen for White Lotus, but definitely not the best thing that could have happened. While on NFG, they closed the gap a little bit.
Yeah, so they almost evened up the gold. They evened up the tower deficit, and they, other than 2 kills down, they really reverted the gold back to the place they want to be.
Yeah, Twitch showing that he can still deal a little bit of damage. Still nothing super substantial because he doesn't have
Ooh, there it is.
Super heavy items, except now he just got his Runins.
So much for that. He has now finished the Runon's Hurricane, and that is, of course, going to add a potent amount of damage to his output in fights on this Runon's Hurricane.
Yeah, however, Kai'Sa has actually finished stacking her coal. I don't think she's done anything with that gold as of yet. It looks like she's got
He's got 800 right now.
She's got a Sheen and a Fiendish Codex, so she could possibly be building.
Yeah, I think if she sells, I believe the combined for Stinger Codex is 1100 for Nashers. I have not built a Nashers Tooth in Lord knows how long. But
I mean, I just don't play AP.
I believe she sells the Call and the Shield, then she'll be able to pick up the Nashers Tooth at least.
I was mistaken. It was a Stinger.
Blue sword item.
Yeah, blue sword. I mean,
Ooh, sword! On that note, fighting off a little more than he could chew there as he went for a couple auto attacks on the Kai'Sa.
I don't play Kai'Sa, guys. Just,
I don't buy Stinger. Stinger's ugly.
Yeah. As far as ward coverage goes, you look at NFG, who's got the top side heavily warded. And again, White Lotus not sitting too heavily on ward coverage.
Ooh,
still mostly focusing on
Johnny
top.
going to come in, Brand trying to find a skill combo, but Kairos going to lock him up there. Scion Husband's going to come in, finds Aurelia. Jason Penguin goes for the stopwatch in time. I don't think they're going to get this. Swords on the back line trying to kill off Ethereal. Ethereal's going to go down. Standing on the side with Kairos there. Kairos going to turn around and take down Sword. The suppression's going to come down. Harbinger finds the kill onto Azir, and this Urgot is causing chaos here. Kairos might go down next, but Aurelian's going to miss out the stun here. Goes for the auto attack, gets stunned up by the Beta, but finds the kill off the skill combo. And it is a 4 for 3 on the side of NFG. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and still, you know, they gained the gap just a little bit by 0.7, but it looks like Sion still wants to keep going.
Oh, he goes through the Sion Q with the fling on the Urgot. Absolutely nice. And I think they're going to take this kill. I don't know if Freshburger has a chance. He's going to get the shutdown. Harbinger putting way more money in his pocket. He is at 2,700 gold now. That is a very, very rich Mecha Crab.
Yeah, definitely one thing you didn't want to do is feed the crab.
He's going to go right for the adaptive helm to deal with that Azir damage. And he's going to pick up the Aegis of the Legion after that. Looking to build into Locket or Zeke's. I'm going to definitely go with Locket on that most likely. But
I think last time I want to say Harbinger built Righteous Glory.
we're going to see the dragon get taken as we see the Aurelia ultimate come in. Ooh, that is a lot of damage. Ethereal not going to manage here. As he tries to find it. Ethereal, even with that Nashor's Tooth in his inventory, really isn't able to make the fight happen now. And Daydream's going to disappear on top of Z's Aurelia here.
Yeah, definitely starting to lose a little bit of focus on the White Lotus. I think they kind of need to back up and regroup a little bit. Maybe focus their ward coverage a little more spread out rather than just being all grouped up.
Yeah, this is looking for a little more. Definitely pushing the way. They're getting what they want on the side of NFG right now. They've picked up their second Cloud Drake. They have a little more movement speed. They're building into a 3k gold lead. They're making the moves now on White Lotus, and they're putting them under the gun. And it just, we saw it, the 2-item spike from the Twitch, as soon as they picked up the Renon's Hurricane, it really gave them a lot to move in here.
Yeah, and Harbinger still being a pretty big damage dealer in a lot of these fights, getting in there and using that Gatling gun thing that he's got.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you even saw from a lot of contribution in these team fights, you saw Jacer Penguin putting out a lot of damage on this brand. And as you see, he's going for the Leander's Torment next. He's really going to have a lot of this damage on these healthy, you know, the Scion who has a lot of the health. Doesn't really have a lot of matter resistance built in, and as well as the Amuma sitting on mostly health right now. So a lot of that brand damage that's going to come out from both his passive and the Leander's Torment is really going to put a huge dent if he can get these combos off on the side of White Lotus.
We could be looking at a potential fight over here at Baron as you see White Lotus setting up the kill bush.
Lotus is looking, finds the hook on a Jacer Penguin. He's going to disappear before he can hit a button. Sword's going to go for the spray and pray, but it's not working out. They turn it on Sword. Sword standing in front of a Scion is not what he wanted there. And he's going to disappear.
That's going to give White Lotus the power to actually take this Baron and maybe try to get something with it.
The Flay's going to come through on Azizi. He tries to throw the ultimate to turn around, and Harbinger's in the center of the fight trying to get something to happen. Has the ultimate down, but he is not able to get anything anywhere, and he's going to disappear. And that is 4 dead members of NFG. And for those of you who are apparently just joining us, we have reached 50 viewers on this match. And this was quite a match. Oh my lord, another hook on the Urita smash. He tries to slide himself out of there. He's not got nowhere to go. Finds the hook. Oh, there's the plasma shot. Everyone's chasing down the Sejuani. They want this boar roasted.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brand is going to come up along with Twitch shortly behind him.
They find the bandage. Jacer Penguin really has to get out of there. He cannot deal with that damage. He finds the return kill on Daydreams, though. They might keep looking here. Sword might get something off, but he's really got to stay away from Fresh Burger. There's the flash from Kairos, the flash bandage, and they just get one after the other. And that is a double kill for Ethereal. And NFG is not able to get what they want here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they still have the power to continue pushing, with Karios really only being the one that is super low. Novosis.
Oh, my lord. Cyan ult from West Coast. They're gonna take the kill off of Ramu here.
That was clear across the continental US. It was beautiful.
I loved it.
They looked like they could have kept playing that, but once Karios went down, that was really the end of that big old push there. I mean, Ethereal has the Baron buff. Novosis, Novosis still has Baron buff, and I believe Thresh still has Baron buff. Nope, Thresh does not.
I'm looking for a little more here as they go through. We're just returning and coming in. And I want to see a little more from... See, the gold has shifted back in the favor of White Lotus here as they're sitting on a roughly close to 2k lead. And they've definitely bust open this tower. And if they want to make another fight happen, if you're NFG side right now, as we're seeing Sword work into the Infinity Edge here, it's really coming to a point where they have to make sure they're checking these threats. You have to put yourself in a position that you were in on game 1, where Sword was able to get a front line that was able to keep him safe from these threats. And if he's getting picked off by this Amumu, and he's getting picked off, oh no, the hook comes in on Jay for Penguin, and they immediately find the follow-up there. And I don't know what they're able to do. Sword tries to find the ult on the side, but he's going to get hooked up next. Kairos finds the bandage, the 3-man ultimate, and I believe this may be curtains for NFG as they keep looking forward.
Ethereal is fairly low, though.
I was going to say, if they turn around and make a find here... they're pushing through.
They are down the 2 biggest damage dealers on the team.
They're going to keep going in, but I don't know if they're going to end off this. We have some timers coming up. Brand is back. Twitch is back in 10. ZZ's looking through, finds a stun onto Kairos. The Emperor's Divide is going to push back Yuritas as he tries to go in. The Brand ultimate's going to come through. Not the ultimate, the Brand skill combo is going to come through to get the passive down on him, and he's going to go down. So they're going to stymie them away.
Keep in mind that 3 members still have Baron buff. It's probably not for much longer, so they should be able to secure this Mountain Drake that they're going for here.
They are going to keep going forward. NFG is really doing what they can to fight back here. They've lost the inhibitor, so they're going to have the super minions pouring in, but with that being done, Sword is one step closer to getting his due to his Infinity Edge. So it's going to be a huge boon for him as the sort of armor-heavy, crit-reducing, the Randu and Zaman sitting on Kairos and everyone else on the team building into a modicum of armor.
Meanwhile, Ethereal has actually built a Void Staff and picked up a Needlessly Large, so she's looking for that heavy AP.
They're going to try to turn around here. They're definitely going to catch them out, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to end up taking that.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I haven't seen White Lotus really abuse or try to take advantage of any of these Drakes that have been popping up in all 3 games. That could play a big part into why they're struggling so much to maintain control of the game.
Yeah, I would say they really have to make sure fights happen on better terms here. They have to... It's really getting rough for them the more the relevance of Daydreams on this Thresh, who I believe in the last 3 or 4 fights has controlled the start of a fight off of a Thresh hook. And it's really working out in their favor. That they're finding these catches, they're turning away NFG's really control of the game to get it back in their favor. And
Yeah.
we're seeing how it's going.
And Kaisa did just pick up her death cap. She also picked up a stopwatch, so that's gonna potentially help her a lot in some of these upcoming team fights.
Looking for more. Another interesting. I don't know if that's an intended interaction because that's the second time we've seen Urgot's charge go into a Scion Q and kind of not knock him up. It's really weird, but Harbinger's doing what he can to try to mess with Scion here, but it's still a 4v4 on the side of the top lane here. But not having the Scion ultimate, it would be a huge boon for NFG to deal with here. So if Harbinger can kind of keep something on Freshburger to keep him in check, there might be something to do, but.
Yeah, and Harbinger's actually doing quite a bit of damage. I don't think Freshburger can keep up with that.
Ooh, we're gonna see the Aurelia ultimate come through. The Emperor's Divide gonna push Eurotas to the side as they try to get through. Finds the Q, finds the ultimate. Harbinger's on the side here. Stopwatch's gonna come through on Ethereal. They're looking for more here. Kairos gets the flash, finds the ultimate on 2. Disappearing from that fight is gonna be Sword as Azir finds him in Azir on a double kill right now. They're looking for more, but the turn is going to come through. ZZ's still alive. Ethereal's going to come in on the Kairos, has the shield. They try to turn it on him. Ethereal's going to turn the kill onto Eurotas, turns the kill, gets the shutdown. Jason Penguin's the only one alive, and I think he's going to fall down. And that is going to be the end of the NFG story. Ethereal slides in, finds the remaining kills, and they're going to take this series 2-1 for White Lotus.
Yeah, that was a very good fight. It definitely could have went both ways depending on whether or not they got Novosis and Ethereal out in that fight very quickly, and they didn't. So White Lotus really just turned around and kicked their butt.
Yeah, that was, again, between the thresh hooks that really pulled them ahead to the fights that got them to that point, and then fights just really started swinging, and then you really saw Sword not able to, evolve onto that Twitch, not really able to get himself into a comfortable position where he could really pop off in these fights. And I mean, you saw it. He ended up with a 1-7. He only got to the 12k damage threshold, which actually ended up being the lowest on his team. So really the gamut of the Twitch did not end up paying off for him. And it's unfortunate, but we are going to see White Lotus end up finishing the domination there, go for the 2-1. And I believe that our next step is going to be assigning our MVP for this series.
Yeah, so
unpacking this best of 3, it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, game 1 was kind of rocky for White Lotus, but in the last 2 games we saw that really everybody on White Lotus did the jobs that they were supposed to do very, very well. For me personally, I'd almost have to give it to Daydreams, just because the amount of engage in team fights that he's had has definitely been the most impactful in these team fights. Getting these good picks and really securing the spots of Ethereal and everybody in general to get good picks and continue pressing these advantages that they've gained.
Yeah, let's say I will definitely agree. So I believe we will be getting our boy Daydreams in here.
Hey,
he is actually here with us right now. So we've got White Lotus's Daydreams with us here, and hope you're ready for just sit through a round of these because I got a lot to ask, and I hope you got a lot of answers for me.
Yeah,
but
AMA, right?
Definitely an AMA. So, all right. So you're White Lotus, and you just lost game 1 to No F's Given. And take me through the process leading to game 2 for the thought process, the double down, the buckle down, and tell me what happens going into game 2 for you guys.
Yeah, I think game 1 they drafted really, really well. So when they first picked the Alistar, I was pretty ready to pick the Poppy as a counter, just because Alistar's it makes it really hard to engage with a Poppy support, and I was doing a pretty good job of trying to keep him from my ADC. The issue that we ran into was by picking the Poppy, we kind of played the same comp that they were playing, a protect the ADC, right. And instead of having Tristana, we had Lucian. And since we weren't able to snowball the early game, it was just unfortunate. And you could just see like the Tristana was able to just get reset after reset after reset and just go ham on us. So we kind of just pulled it back. Game 2, it was like, okay, well, let's just play our comp, play our style, and chill. Don't worry about it. We're pretty confident, in our play. We've been together for a very long time, and I think that everybody just trusted each other to do our jobs.
Yeah, I was definitely curious if it was more of a, we should probably give these guys a little more respect. I didn't think it was more of a mentally shaken thing. I know White Lotus has definitely been a team consisting of players who are very, have a lot of mental fortitude, and you go forward and you say, well, that didn't work out for us. We can change this, this, and this. And I mean, you saw the adjustments in the draft. You saw the move to the Poppy support that really away from the Poppy support onto the more of the engaged support, and going forward to game. And then now you've turned it around and moved to game 2, and you see the draft going towards game 3, which, because I believe game 2 you heavily outdrafted NFG in game 2, and that played a lot to the very strong, the resonating victory you picked up.
Right.
But game 3, I feel that NFG did have a good draft game 3. I do believe. I think that they found things they were looking for to pick at your team. And was it a matter of? Do you think it was a matter of out-comping them, or do you think that you changed up your game plan going into game 3 to make sure that you didn't have problems coming in?
Well, so in game 3, we kind of just decided that we felt that we were stronger in the late game as a team. So we felt that if we could survive their early game aggression and just scale up, then we could just out-rotate and then out-team fight them later on. It got a little bumpy when Scion started getting a lot of kills and got super, super, super tanky. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we kind of just played our game, just worded up, and then caught Twitch every time he kind of popped out of stealth. Our kind of war cry was Tora, Tora, Tora the second Twitch showed, and we just kind of went ham on him.
Gotcha. I was going to say, just a lot of those fights really just broke out, and the moment Sword sort of revealed himself, you'd either see Kairos flash on, or you just see lots of the clutch hooks that really came out to really start a fight either on Jay or Sword, and really shut them down for the majority of that fight. So
yeah, we just knew that if we could get to late game with a Kaisa and a Azir, and we had it in the bag, there's no way they were going to beat us unless we hard through.
So after game 1, what was your thoughts going into game 2? Really, like, it wasn't like a super hard defeat. It was actually a really close game there. Just like, what was the overall atmosphere going into that game 2?
Kind of just like well, darn, they got us. We have a lot of styles. Like, that's what makes our team is really, really strong. I feel like we don't have just one style. Like, if you beat us when we're running one style, we're just going to play something else. Like, we can have our mid lane carry, we can have Burger carry, we can have Aether carry, we can even have Davy carry sometimes. But we have a lot of styles, and a lot of teams haven't seen our full repertoire of styles because we've basically been playing the same thing over and over again until they can beat it. So until then, we're kind of just like, yeah, let's just keep playing what's working. But game 1, they did really good. They drafted really well. The Swain was a huge problem. So we just kind of adjusted a couple bans, and knowing that they couldn't ban, we kind of took advantage of that as well and played our game.
Sounds good. So now you're sitting at 12-0. You have, I believe, all but guaranteed a playoff spot unless a terrible, something befalls you over the next course of 4 weeks and you lose every game. I think you're still secured a playoff spot at that point. So are you looking to explore some of those, other play styles that you've discussed, or are you looking to sort of maybe hold those on the playoff strats? Because you have the dual ideas. Now that you've basically secured a playoff spot as long as you're on top of your game. Are you looking to just keep doing what you're doing and show everybody that it's working and not having to pull out anything until playoffs time? Or are you looking to maybe flex some of those new styles of comps and just use sort of these next week's games as maybe not practice, but seeing that, testing the strength of those types of ideas?
I mean, I kind of just lock in whatever Coach Dude tells me to do, but I think his philosophy is kind of like why show anything when we don't need to?
Mhm.
Like if we can get into those best of fives without showing our hands, then we have a lot of aces up the sleeve. So I don't know. I don't really have any calls over champ selects. I mean, I kind of give my input on champions that I think would do well, but at the end of the day, it's our amazing coach Dissonant and even our owner, Jordan Disgrace, that kind of guides us through all that.
Gotcha. That's all I had for you. So I'll give you the general final question, unless Jimmy had something else. And are there any shout outs you'd like to give?
Big shout out to Jays for Penguin and Sword and the bot lane. They played really well, and it was really fun to play that bot lane. And another shout out to the Rock in the top lane, Freshburger, because he's keeping it on lock every game.
Good
Nice
stuff.
night.
And that is all I had for him. So thanks for joining us, Daydreams. I'm glad you had a lot of insight. I like to, crack into the mind of White Lotus every once in a while. So
Yeah,
good
no
stuff.
problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I believe that is all we've got here. And thanks for joining us on this third game of the night. That was between White Lotus and No F's Given. And that is going to be a 2-1 win for the White Lotus. And I believe that's all I've got. And again, I'm Skyson.
And I'm Jimmy, and big shout out to Nick for running these streams almost all day.
Good man. Even had to endure an ash ban in the middle of all of it.
That was terrible. He cried a little. He was crying over the mic. You guys can't hear him, but we were heartbroken.
Well, I believe, if I'm not wrong, we have more games tomorrow. We do have 2 games tomorrow. So look forward to that. I believe our first game is kicking off at 6:30 Eastern between Atlas Esports and Red Dusk Esports. So look forward to that. That should be a good match. And then the next one will be at 8:30 between Full Send Gaming and Reign of Kings. So that's all I've got for you guys. And you have a great night.